Oh my God, where did Cloudy go? How do we already have to?
I don't know.
Oh my God, no. Hat guy, no stay. Okay, great. There's Hat guy. Hat guy's blocking the chat. Hold on, I'll move Hat guy over here. There we go.
Our fourth
Hat
chair.
guy in here, filling in for Cloudy. Just the way it was meant to be. With some new icons and stuff on hand, I've spent money today just upgrading this service. So
Right.
just for premium hat guy content. There we go. Hello and welcome to TokuTonic, our Friday night live stream in which we talk about the latest things going on in the world of tokusatsu. Of course, the first things that we've got is, of course, the superhero time for this week, even though we are going to be going a little bit out of order just because a lot of the details that did end up dropping was more related to the Geats side of things than King Oger. So we're going to dig into that after the Geats talk. But then also, we've got the trademark for a new writer name, as well as, of course, some DX toys and other stuff related that might make us spend money here and there, maybe buy some more Geats stuff here and there. But of course, like always, I am joined by my panelists. First up, we've got a cloudy named Hat Guy.
What? Oh, yes. Oh, it's me, Hat Guy, Kevin Mattel. I don't know, whatever you named him.
Kevin Mattel.
Cloudy with a chance of hats.
Really, definitely. Yeah, what's up?
I mean, speaking of Mattel, of course, the Barbie movie dropped the trailer.
Oh, I know. I'm very excited to see that.
We saw that before The Little Mermaid last night. They showed that trailer.
You know, the trailer kind of sold me.
Little Mermaid wasn't actually that bad. It was actually pretty good.
No, it's good.
Oh?
Yeah.
All right. So you got anything for us, Kevin Hat Guy?
No, not much. Just don't watch Geats. It's boring. It's bad.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah. It's a thing. It's a thing. We're cruising on by to the finale. It's almost like we're almost with Revice levels of stuff. Here's hoping that maybe their episode 42 is also a banger, like what we got with Revice. But if not, then oh my God, then Revice is indeed just going to be better than Geats is currently. Just swimming in Fs. I haven't given so many Fs in so long when it comes to ratings, but damn.
Didn't we already miss like the episode 35 jump? Because it got better in episode 35 with the Veil versus Deathstream fight.
The Veil Deathstream fight was 42.
That was 42?
Oh, yes.
Sorry, it all blended together.
That was episode 42. So
sorry, it all blended together so much.
Yeah. So all of that stuff. Outside of that, we also have a nerd named Mark. How are you this evening?
Good. Playing video games and reading comics.
I saw that you have a certain Kamen Rider comic that recently...
the finale, the ending to the tragedy that is 01 comic. I'll do a video on it eventually when I actually can finish reading it. That's the plan at some point.
I would ask you how the QC is, but of course you haven't even opened it up.
Dude, after the first one, I don't even think that was QC. That was just lack of like knowing your source material.
Well, but even then, like the wrong images for the wrong progress keys are listed.
That's on the artist. I blame the artist for that. Like,
so someone should have at least like afterward proofread it, going like, wait, what? This doesn't make any sense.
Ever since we started getting more like stuff like the 01 comic, the Kuga manga, I have been very outspoken that hey, there's a lot of people who know the source material that would do this just for a credit, to be on the team, so to speak, or to say they helped with it as like humble bragging. Like I know enough people who do this for like dirt cheap or free that would actually like say, hey, this is wrong. Can you change that?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Titan manga and Titan comics follow me now. Actually started following me after the whole Kuga debacle when I did those videos. So maybe they can slide in my DMs. I'm not thirsty. I don't DM first.
Oh, well. Let them be open up. I still keep my DMs privatized. Gotta be mutual following for you to DM me on Twitter. So yeah. But outside of that, Ash, the Oxy 360, how are you this fine morning?
I am good. I've been gaming. I've been comicking. I had some arrivals last week. I had this figure, Yamato from One Piece. And then also, what else? This one. It says to Gohan.
Ooh, that one.
Ooh.
I don't
Yeah.
know, but I know Gohan.
But yeah, like I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom slowly. I'm not even at the first dungeon yet. But yeah, just been chugging along on that game and keeping up with Power Engineers as it slowly comes out. Where we have like next to nothing. Pookie dropped some images, but I don't think a lot of people are talking about that.
I was about to say I saw your video about Pookie dropping that Morpher picture.
I was so tempted to have like the little text on the thumbnail saying it's Pookie time, but
Oh
I
my
don't
god.
know.
Hey, I'm still thrown off by the Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
Like all the Thunderbolt imagery in these Cosmic Fury, everything is just so bad.
Weird.
Like,
Yeah.
It's bland.
yeah,
It reminds me of like the old Bandai American releases where they would replace like the Z for the Jordanger with that. Like I think
Yeah.
like even going back, like there's been so many figures like that. That's what it reminds me of.
I mean, I like the wrist changer in itself. It's just really
Mhm.
that Thunderbolt that just gets
Yeah.
me.
It's like they're trying to brand. It's like when you get like a laptop or like a Trapper Keeper in your high school and you want to put like band stickers on it. They're putting the lightning ball on everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It is the 30th anniversary, so I
yeah, there's
get
more
it.
creative ways to do it.
Do it, yeah.
Let me see. Did I finally? I did finally finish Tears of the Kingdom last Sunday, but there's still other stuff that I gotta do as well in that game. There's just a lot of content, but I finally beat it, and then afterwards, I had to I beat it on Sunday, so right before actually doing my Geats review, I had to sit to like 2 to 3 hours of YouTube videos because I was like, I gotta discuss this, but I gotta find people that are actually discussing this. Because I have so many questions now, especially regarding the non-existent timeline that they currently have now. So yeah, that was a whole thing for me. I was like, I need closure before I start writing up some Geats real quick. So there's all of that.
This makes me happy I'm not a diehard Zelda fan having to deal with that stuff.
Like I had to shut off my brain. I was just like, this doesn't make sense. Like as someone that like before the official timeline was out, I completely had my own timeline theories and shit like that. But then Tears of the Kingdom just like retconned everything. It just threw the entire
Okay.
Yeah, it just takes the entire timeline and throws it out the fucking window and just says, "Oh, you thought you knew what was nah."
Really?
I
I
was
thought
just
it was
like,
just its own thing.
no.
When did that timeline book come out? Because I remember it coming out like after Skyward Sword.
Yeah, so Hyrule Historia dropped about, I want to say it was 2 years before Breath of the Wild came out,
Mm-hmm.
because that's when they dropped all of that. And then, of course, when Breath of the Wild came out, Aonuma, the producer, said that this takes place at the very, very end, like so far into the future that all the other stories have become myth. Well, since this game goes all the way to the beginning of the timeline, I'm just
okay.
there's so many inconsistencies that I'm just like, y'all just my brain's rotting right now from like trying to compute, but I can't compute. So
I still like Oracle of Seasons.
I'm waiting for the drop on the Game Boy thing.
I'll replay Seasons in Oracle of Time like nonstop.
Yeah.
Ages, Oracle of Ages.
Ages,
I never
same
played 'em.
difference.
So
Time related.
I want to play Spirit Tracks again.
I will not be playing Twilight Princess if they re-release it.
I'm not a
dead to me.
Twilight
That
Princess fan. Nope.
That bridge. That's like my.
That is like PTSD for all of you, doesn't
That's
it?
like my Tokusatsu park bench. Is that bridge?
Broken
Princess-
game.
It's good if you can get past that.
I can't though. It ruined it.
He's gonna get to
Alright.
that bridge and kill up into the ball.
Oh my god.
That's ruined.
Yes. Welcome to the Legend of Zelda stream, y'all, where we talk about the peak Tokusatsu franchise, Legend of Zelda.
Yep, Breath of the Henshin.
Oh yeah.
Starring Zelda going off to save, I don't know, what's the princess's name? Link? Something like that.
Someone.
That was Ganondorf.
Ganondorf? What? That's
Yes.
what we called him in high school. Bitch. All right, so now let's go ahead and get on to
Super Hero Time starts now.
And like I said, we're going to be starting off with King Oger this week just because of all the other Geet stuff that happened. I don't know if Hat Guy is going to migrate or if he's going to end up staying over there, in which case we're going to have a very invasive Hat Guy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right. I'm just gonna have
Hat Guy is Jeremy. It's been confirmed.
Yep, Hat Guy's just gonna chill here. Yep, Hat Guy. There it is. There it is, right there.
Yeah. Confirmed, Jeremy.
Okay.
I haven't seen them both in the same place at the same
He
time.
takes his hat off. He's Jeremy.
Oh yeah, that's true. We have not seen them both at the same place and time. There it is. There it is.
Jeremy.
So of course, on this week we had Jeremy starting off things. You know, the way that we speculated last week, the fact that we actually got him narrating the beginning and it actually cuts away to him actually doing the narration. I was like, y'all doing it. Y'all doing it. Here we go. So yes, he is indeed giving us the narrations for both the beginning and the end of the episode. So it was great. Great. Here comes all the J. Jonah Jameson stuff. Now, is Jeremy a threat or a menace? What do y'all think?
Both.
Yeah, he's both.
Yeah.
Definitely less of a threat, more of a menace. But like in not the traditional sense, I think he's just like the way he wouldn't tell anyone the stories. Like I'm giving you all the hints. He's a menace in that sense.
I definitely think he's a threat. If you see the trailer for next episode, the very last frame, I definitely think he's a threat for that.
I never really fully dive into like the previews at the end as like holding weight to like my reviews or my opinions of episodes and characters because you never know like context.
Oh, I get that. But I'm pretty sure I know the context for what happened.
Hold on. Zoran did point out that during Gira's funeral, we do see Hat Guy and Jeremy in the same place and time. So
yeah, we do.
They
But
are
not the same frame.
They're
It
not
could be
the
a
same
clone.
person.
Could be a stunt double.
Yeah, you never know.
Yes, but of course, first things first, all of the kings are going after this man. So what does he do but shoot his load on Himeno?
As you do.
So
There's a whole part of my review I had to cut out because I spent way too much time making jokes, and I was like, I'm gonna cut this whole section out of my review.
no, during the live stream when it happened, I was just like, "Come shot!" It's just like out of nowhere. Damn.
Is the director's cut of your review like 30 minutes long?
No, there's like a good 5 to 6 minute tangent where I'm like, and I'm cutting in like other clips, and Ash being a wrestling fan will understand this. Dolph Ziggler saying it should have been me.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then Batista doing the "give me what I want" over and over. And I was like, wait, I gotta take all these clips out, copyright and this. And I was like, this is a bit much for a review.
If you splice them all together, then of course they're just going to counteract each other's claims, so you'll be fine.
That's true, but
so yeah,
gotta
of
keep it
course.
wholesome.
So of course, during all this entire time, Jeremy just goes on to re-emphasize the legend of the King Oger, and everyone's just like, "Why are you just reading us these stories, you old man?" And it's because, of course, he wrote them. They don't believe him. They don't believe him. Because even the Boski's like, so what about that whole prophecy about the Bugnarok? You mean you wrote 2,000 years ago that they would come back 2,000 years and they just listened? And he's like, yes, I did.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no, you're a menace. And then it's here that we find out that Himeno spits, in which case completely changed some dynamic going on there.
Didn't change my opinion at all.
Art's like, it's fine.
It's fine.
I'm like, she's too classy for that.
It makes
Lady
sense.
like.
It's in lore.
Yeah.
Ladylike.
Mhm.
But yeah, of course, Rita ain't buying any of that BS because it just sounds like complete BS and just snatches him up. And thus we start our globe-trotting adventures with not Gira, because usually this type of stuff is reserved for Gira. So now Jeremy goes ahead and just replaces him when it comes to all of these aspects. Of course, the Bugnarok are not having this, but of course, they were the ones that, stood still for 2,000 years waiting for said prophecy to go ahead and be a thing. But, they're going to continue on believing in the prophecy because right now they still got their hands on the greater shoe gods. It's here that we get wholesome Morphonia moment as we move on to Gokhan out here watching the trial with Gira, also telling him, "You here to turn yourself in." So it's just like, just out of nowhere seeing it. I'm just like, see, some of these comedy aspects that they just throw in there are just so great. Then, of course, Jeremy here keeps trying to spell things out, but not the way that Rito wants, because Rito wants him to just tell him everything. And he's like, nah, bro, don't work like that. Authors don't just give away the end of the book during the press conference. That's not how this works. So you got to figure everything out, and I'll give you the little bit of deets in between. But on the other hand, how would it be that I did not write all this stuff, but I knew that the Scorpion, Greater Shoe God, existed within your kingdom? Well, how do you know that? Because I wrote it. Got him. And it's the entire thing. We find out that he's been the insider for the Bugnarok the entire time, feeding them that information. There was no mole from Raculus. It was Jeremy the whole time. See, J. Jonah Jameson was right. He is a menace. He's out here working for the bad guys.
Doesn't make him any less threatening.
So yeah, all the entire backstory just for that. But here we get more explanation regarding the Bowski and Raculus, something that I did not see coming.
Yeah.
Like the entire reason why the Bowski keeps going to Raculus every time is because Raculus has his sister. And it's just like, whoa, that completely came out of left field. I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card. So yeah.
I thought he was just like kind of like, playing all sides to kind of like, so he, no matter what size he picks, like he's on the winning team. And now I'm just like, this kind of changes when you go back and watch the previous episodes. Now it kind of changes my perspective from like the Bowski's standpoint as a character. And I'm like, well, is he as shady now?
Yeah, it really does change perspective a lot.
But I kind of like the idea of him being shady. So I'm like, damn it. Like, I
think he's just as shady though.
Well,
now there's a reason.
Yeah.
He does whatever it takes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Raculus with that shit-eating grin, it just completely just reaffirms the goddamn dick that he is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mark's here for it.
Yeah. All right. So now starts our wacky adventures of the whole lie detector. So we got ourselves a nice little VR headset here, sans the glasses, but with a giant lightning rod of hate. I'm used to getting all that. So, hey, here we go. So, of course, we got to test things out. So Gira goes up first to proclaim that he is the Tyrant King and thus gets the wagon. Look at that right there. Just completely obliterated.
That was I was cracking up when that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Like the humor and how they balance the humor in the episodes. It's like old school, like slapstick, like, oh, he got injured, that's funny, but then it's like he's had this shtick the whole time and they all know he's full of it, and now this just kind of like confirms it also.
Yep. So here's Jeremy with his massive rod here to showcase off that he's got that he's been completely telling the truth the whole time. So they even ask him, it's like, how old are you? Well, a little over 2,000 years. And they're like, don't believe you. He's got to be lying. This thing's broken. This thing's completely broken. So, of course, no one believes him. Shiokana goes ahead and takes one for the team.
That was great.
What was great was like all of the support staff just going like, Shiokana!
They actually care about him, but Gira's dying right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
No one cared about Gira, but Shiokana, though. Damn.
Can we just, for a second, like pay attention to like the staff that Yama carries? Like they're geniuses, of course, but they all are presenting very thug in this.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they're like a gang. They're a crew.
Exactly. It's
That's
so
where
great.
Gara got the idea of it. My favorite thing is he used the lie to kind of like prove that Yanma is like cool and like the best. Because I was like, he could have said anything, but he chose to like insult Yanma to show
because we know he didn't mean it.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously, when all this gets proven that he's definitely telling the truth, but Yama still doesn't believe him, that's when Jeremy drops a nugget, going like, you act just like that old man Gin, and of course, this is this like priceless reaction shot right here. This is like peak reaction image.
Yeah.
Like, the fuck did you just say? Like for real, for real.
with a CD shaking in his hand as they
Yup.
zoomed out. I was like,
It's great.
blue-
Then we find out that Gin is the guy that taught Yanma everything about computers, but Jeremy is the one that taught him. So essentially, like everything that Yanma knows is literally just really Jeremy playing the long game, modernizing the shoe gods, being able to pilot the King Oger. All of that came from Jeremy. We even get a little nugget later on that kind of implies that Yanma's also responsible for the suits that the King Ogers even have when they transform. Because when Jeremy later on transforms, he's like, I didn't create that. So it's like, it's nice little information. They throw in like one little sentence, and that's one of the things that I really enjoy about this episode is Jeremy literally tells them that you have to pay attention to even the minutest of details going on. And as the audience, we also have to pay attention to all the minute little details because they throw in so many one-liners that just add more fire to all the seed plants that they're throwing off. So it's like, it's crazy stuff.
Can I just see what we miss? Like if we ever go back to this episode.
oh yeah, no, like I hate to compare the two, but it's like my opinion of like Geats right now is like so much stuff seems like throwaway one-liners and this and that could be important, but I doubt will pan out this far in. But so far, every little thing that you think is something that's like a throwaway line ends up actually like giving you some actual real information.
Yeah,
Face.
yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, he's out here giving them DSLs right there.
Yeah.
Dude, someone's gonna make that a picture, and you know it now.
Oh, absolutely. If not, someone just take a screenshot of this right now and go ahead and go ahead and transparent that background. There you
Have
go.
fun.
DSL Jeremy. Here we go.
I knew I should have picked that one as my thumbnail. I didn't know. I had it saved as a screenshot. I was like, I'm gonna do this, or I'll do like the henshin pose or this. And I'm like, nah, I'll just do the henshin pose. People will grab. Now I'm like, damn, I should have did that one.
Yep.
His
Yep.
face.
So yeah, of course, during all that, it's revealed that the first shoe god that they examined when it came to modernizing was actually the god Kumo. So it was actually his spider that went into it. So that's another thing, especially since it's a shoe god that we haven't seen yet in the show, but they were already like, yeah, we know which one was the origin point for all of this technological breakthrough, and it was all of that. So we did get a super chat in. Let me pull it up, but of course I know the sound's gonna play. I did fix the sound now, so I no longer have to press the button. So Streamlabs should actually get it right this time. Oh, let me move that guy over here. $2 from Bird of the End, Jeremy, the manager of the King Oger. And you know, that's exactly how I feel as someone that is in management. There's a lot of times in which I'm like trying to feed breadcrumbs to my employees so they can just figure things out without me spelling it out for them. So I completely sympathize with this man when it came to a lot of his pain points when it came to this episode.
You'd like it as a manager to have like people like figure stuff out on their own and be self-sufficient and not micromanaging, but that's not the case. You sometimes have to tell them.
True. Oh, by the way, was Eo. In the episode, he said, they said that
Stop playing the sound. I hate you, stream. Why did I upgrade you if you're not even gonna play the sound?
Oh, is it the? Oh
I'll just do it myself. I'll do it myself. God, it's because of Hat Guy here. Hat Guy took all the premium money I spent.
no! Get rid of him then.
He would.
And then we also got a Cosmic Orchid out here with another $2 saying it was Jeremy all along. What is it with you, Streamlabs? You didn't play the first time.
Oh, you might have to you might have to reset it because sometimes Streamlabs, I don't know if you're using Streamlabs or Stream Elements, they're not they don't refresh every time.
Streamlabs out here just
oh, but
piss me off.
you quickly while we're on this frame, they actually say that they use the Kumo, which is just the spider on the King Oger for the study. It's not the tarantula.
But what if that's a precursor to his.
I mean, it could be a precursor to his, but the spider is on the mech of the King Odor.
Well, I guess we'll find out once we actually get to the next episode-ish. They'll probably
Mhm.
give us some deep dive into that.
I need a spin-off like Rackley's is getting for Jeremy.
Just what he was doing during that
No.
2,000 years. Just
Yeah,
him.
all the different, because they showed all the like.
Yeah.
I just want like different time eras of him just being like, okay, now you should. This is how you do a computer. All right, I'm gonna go back take a nap. He's like Lord Beerus. He just takes really long naps.
We might get
And
those in
then
flashback.
Graph for $2. Keep the jingle going.
I will never get tired of that. That's such a good jingle.
It is now Streamlabs catching up.
If we get at some point where it's just like non-stop because of Streamlabs.
It just wouldn't stop. It just wouldn't stop. It'd be crazy.
Oh, no.
Let's see. Oh wait, what if God Tarantula is the alpha of the God Kumos? What if there's like a mega transformation that's just like the Tarantula and all the other spider mechs combining to become a mega super spider mech?
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
We
that'd
need
be
more
cool.
spider mechs because so far there's only one.
We need more spider mechs.
Yeah.
Well, I guess two if you count Tarantula.
Just all of them. Get them all. All right. So of course, during all this, Jeremy gets kidnapped by the Butler Brigade. Out here doing these fancy ninja poses with zero shadows. Like always. Like always.
I gave up
Is
on
that
trying
like
to find the shadows.
AGI?
It's because of the green screen
It's-
setting
yep.
that they use. They don't show the shadows. Like if you
Oh,
go back to
okay.
other episodes, Himeno never had a shadow in most
Yep.
of
Right, right.
her sequences.
Yep, so he gets taken to Himeno next. So he goes ahead and points out how big her donkus is by pointing out at her dump truck back there. Why? Because because she got that Scorpy, but she don't believe it. Look at everybody in the back just checking out that dump truck she got going on back there. Damn.
Now you understand why I like Jeremy so much. He's a man of culture. He
Yep.
understands the fighter things in life.
Yep, there
Mhm.
it is.
Oh, you forgot one thing though. In the last scene, Rita yelling actually
Revived.
revived.
Yeah.
Revive
Yeah,
Shield-
yeah, I love
Yeah.
That
that.
was like a subtle thing, and I was like, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got all that when Rita shows up saying that they now know who he actually is. Spider-Man.
He's been laying it out this whole time too.
Yep. Getting Morphonia to do all the dirty work and all the actual research for Rita. We see that he's actually been a man of myth and legend for the last 2,000 years, just appearing between decades to centuries, just doing things, plotting, getting chased by kids, all that stuff has been going on,
Dude,
all
Spider
so he
thing.
can cook. Dabowski's like, well, obviously, because he's a Bugnarok. And he's like, no, I ain't no Bugnarok. But it's just like, yeah, no, your attack last time literally said fake. I saw that man. He did not die. You're a goddamn liar. You are in cahoots with the Bugnarok. Plus, you got their naming convention on the back of your uniform. Can't hide that shit. So he's just like, look. What if I just show y'all because the Bugnarok are attacking? I'm going to go fight them. And they're like, what? Why are you infighting with them? Like, that's weird. You're the worst kind of person. You're fighting your own kind. This is another terrible shot just because this lamppost is almost clipping into Himeno from
Oh yeah.
from how bad the green screen is on here. Also, the proportions being a little bit off in terms of actually being laid out on there. But hey, you know what? We're not here to nitpick, except we are. So,
No, I'm just here to like.
so of course, during all of this, like Jeremy's like, look, you got to look between the lines. You got to look at the subtext. You got to figure out everything that I'm not telling you is the answer. So Gira's just like, I got it. I'm gonna
He has
figure
a
this
Jimmy
out.
Neutron brain blast
Yeah.
moment.
He has a brain blast. and just says, I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
That was so good.
It was so great.
Hilarious.
Like that lead up, I was just like, oh man, this man's figuring it out. And oh my god, like it was so dumb. It was hilariously dumb.
I could not contain my laughter in that scene. It was just so.
No, it was great. It was great. And the thing is, it's just like everybody was also just being completely dumb, jumping to conclusions and all this crap during this entire episode. And it's just like, look, there's a story that you haven't known about from this blank page. And that's that there was a sixth hero that wanted some of that black arachnia. He knew what's up. That's why he looked at Himeno like that. That dumb truck life. There we go. But yes, these two got together and had a kid, and that kid is Jeremy. And there's his mom again. But yes, half Bugnarok, half human, all web shooter. So, with that said, everyone's like, you should have just told us that. And it's like, but then this episode would have ended like, before it even started. We got to build up to this point. So, yeah. Meanwhile, Jeremy's mom. So, Jeremy's mom smash or pass. All right, real quick.
Smash.
Let me pull up. Let me put up the poll too. Let me ask the poll.
All right, fine. Who knows what they're gonna pick?
I don't know. We'll find out.
I don't trust chat most of the time because the waifu wars never went the way it was.
Well, let's see.
Objectifiably should have went.
I got to go on this.
Mark, you just don't like chat's opinion. That's it, because they disagree with yours.
Just don't like bad opinions.
That's like any opinion that's not yours in your book.
I mean, if the shoe fits.
Oh my god!
Like, I can't help it that I'm super cultured. That I know.
Spider smash. Okay.
So far, we smash in the spider. As far
as let's see how degenerate this chat's about to be. We're at 75% smash.
I mean, chat's getting it right. So
yep,
let's go. I'm proud of you, chat.
First time for everything.
Where's waifu wars at? There's no point. There's no point. Y'all are gonna keep playing the haterade game and skewing the results. So I can't take it.
To translate, they're tired of Himeno losing to Rita, so they'll never
happen. Tired of Crazy Orb and his 25
leading a mob burners. Of people
it's
to try and skew the votes.
He has no pull.
So he does when they're all his accounts.
Oh gosh.
So let's see. With that, we've got 75% smash with 48 votes. The chat has spoken, and they shooting webs all over that spider. All right, so of course, during all that revelation, the big thing is that Debnarak has shown up, and he even pulls a Rancic by pulling out a sword out of nowhere. His body, out of all that. I thought it was a great moment. I was like, oh man, he had this the whole time, and he just never threw hands with anybody like that. So, hey, he did it. It's here that we get the very saucy Henshin jingle all the way into a...
I like it.
I don't
like it.
It was a good jingle. I feel like it was too quick, and then there was that weird silence for a second there.
The jingle is very good. The Spider Kumonos part, I believe Zio just doesn't like the voice or the build up to it.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I like the beat going into it.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
But it's like, come on. We just had... just to get followed by...
Well, you're not throwing the beat in,
See, look. But otherwise, like, everything else was just... It was good. It was good up until, like, that point. I was like, yeah, y'all just completely, like, dropped the ball when it came to that one. But, hey, we got, once again... nice insert song. We keep getting these character songs just left and right, and I'm just like, damn, y'all got like fire OST, like compared to a lot of these shows recently, because of course, well, it's better than anything Geats has dished out when it comes
Absolutely.
to OST.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
It's not out yet, by the way, if you're asking.
name any time a Geats OST hit. I'll wait. Okay, great.
Glad we had that understanding.
Yeah. It's like obviously, when's the Geats OST hit? When they gave us the second verse of Trust Last, and even then I was like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it. All right. Got a $5 super chat. I gotta move Jeremy out the way here. I mean, not Jeremy, Kevin on Jeremy. There we go. Kevin on Jeremy action. All right, we got $5 from blah blah something. J. Jonah Jameson. Get out there, Jeremy, and bring me crotch shots of Spider Kumonos.
The Spider-Man jokes are gonna end.
No, it won't.
I'm here for it.
I'm also here
Jeremy
for
gets
it.
an upgrade, and it's literally just a camera.
Oh,
No, he just he rips off the suit and it's just Spider-Man.
It's literally
Gross.
just. They're gonna do a fucking V Cinema or Toei Tokusatsu thing with him and Toei Spider-Man.
that needs
I
to
hope
happen.
so.
If that doesn't
I
happen,
wish.
missed opportunity.
Gets Tarantula Knight to combine with Leopardon.
Non Leopardon, yeah.
Mhm.
Even better.
Yep. And then they'll sell that premium Bandai, and I will
And
buy
I
it.
will, yep.
Yep. I will.
I'm
definitely
already
buy that.
moving around the funds for it.
So I'm already applying for new credit cards. There it is. That's the money shot right there. Like the amount of innuendos that they had this episode, I was just like, y'all channeling Don Brothers this week, like a lot when it comes to like the goofy, especially with the innuendos that they had going on with this shit. And the funny thing is, Jeremy's actor actually said that he watched all Don Brothers before coming into this role. And he actually got some advice by Kohaku Shida because they're actually part of the same acting agency before getting into this. So I thought that was a nice little thing as well.
Mm.
So yeah, slicing through them worms and then finishing things off with a nice narration. This was indeed a great debut of a sixth warrior, even if they're sounds
We
like
gotta
that.
let that go at some point.
Not. I put it on the soundboard
You're just salty.
just before the stream
Oh, it's
for
on
the sake of
soundboard
this.
now. Oof.
Yes, that's how I was able to play it so fast. It's because it's on the soundboard. All right. So I thought it was a really good episode. I thought that there was a lot of things going into it, particularly the Boski's sister. Like, that's a thing now. Like, I'm currently of the thought process that, like, they've got to be laying something down when it comes to her. This can't be a throwaway plot point, because if this show's proven anything, is that there's no throwaway plot points. They will throw something in there and they're going to pay it off like tenfold when it comes to things. So I'm really thinking that she's going to end up playing a major role in the story later on, probably get her own arc. And I'm even thinking like grim dark scenario, something happens to the Boski and she replaces him as new Hachioger. Like,
That'd be
could be
cool.
completely a thing and would change up the status quo dramatically, especially when it comes to the gender ratios when it comes to Sentai, because we've never had that really. Not at least in the main team. We've had the extra rangers, like things like Q Ranger and things like that, and Kyoruger, but when it comes to like main cast, no.
Only
I
Akiba
don't-
Ranger.
I mean, Akiba Ranger, but they didn't change like gender, and that was season 1, season 2.
Mhm.
So whole different thing there, plus slightly different costumes. But yeah, that would be the only real time that I could think of. More recently than not, because of course there were other instances as well in Sentai, especially going back to like the original Yellow Sentai from Go Ranger and things like that when it comes to all the swap outs. But on top of that, of course, Jeremy being half Bugnarok, half human, he is trying to essentially unite the entire planet when it comes to coexistence of the species. But he also throws in a line that kind of implies that there's others out there like him, that he's not the only one. We even get a slight scene from Rita indicating that they sympathize or understand where Jeremy's coming from. And of course, they never explain Rita's weird eye thing yet, but this could be a nice little seed plant to a possible explainer, because of course you got to think when it comes, it's been 2,000 years. There's the possibility that some of these gene pools got way more skewed human, but still had some Bugnarok flavor mixed in. It could be an explainer for Rita. It could be an explainer for Gira's capability of talking to Shoe Gods. There's a whole lot of things when it comes to this episode in terms to unpacking. Like I said, there's just a whole lot. Even Gin, the whole suit aspects, there's a lot in this week. So, Mark, anything you want to say? Any speculation? What you think about this episode? What you got?
So definitely when he said there's like more people, because he called them what, the in-betweens was the nickname he gave them. So like I'm just, because he's like Bugnarok, humans, the in-betweens. I'm like, okay, so he would say plural if he was the only one. And I'm really curious, like, where's his like lair? Does he have like a spider lair? Is it actually like a spider lair? Is he like Batman? Like, I want to know like more. Like, I like that we have a character that's this old and he's not telling everyone all the information.
I actually enjoyed the fact that, like, I previously speculated that I thought he might have been just asleep for the last 2,000 years, but no, this man's been cooking. This man's been out there. Yeah, like completely, like, has been living this entire time and just dropping seeds and all that stuff, just preparing for this. And the biggest thing is just the fact that everybody went along with his myth. They took it for gospel. This man literally made the religion of the world and just completely flipped the world on its head by just saying, I'm the guy that wrote it. And I was just talking shit. Like, legit.
I know. That's why I was like, I want to know more about it. And I also, one of my favorite things about Commoner Saber is we have a narrator that we get to see narrating stuff. I actually like that. I don't mind just a voice of a narrator, but it's kind of cool to have our sixth also being the narrator of everything. So it's like, it's almost like that dual perspective, because we have him narrating, that we also get him in the show as well, a part of the actual story.
Let's see here. Graf says that, of course, being part Bugnarok might explain Himeno's dump truck. You know, could be a thing.
Yeah, the
Black Arachnia genes just out there. Let's see. I saw another one as well. I forgot who it was, but someone speculated that Jeremy's mom could possibly be the queen of the Bugnarok as well. Meaning that he technically would share royalties with both human and Bugnarok, if that's a thing as well. Plus, they made her a whole suit. They're not going to make a whole suit. They actually are. They've done it already. But hey, I'm like, they're not going to make a whole suit for a throwaway 30-second bit. But they've done so before. But no, there's got to be something here. Like, they're got to explain some stuff.
It's for the V Cinema.
Oh, yeah. For Toei Tokusatsu, we get to see the making of Jeremy. The making of Jeremy special. There we go.
Oh, you gotta be over 18 to see that one.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm okay with that.
Actually, no, you got to be over like 1,800 years old to see it. Yeah.
I'll find a way.
Yeah.
I'll get
Ash, what'd you think about this week?
Really good episode. Like, Jeremy is an interesting character, and there's still a mystery. Like, there's a lot that he's telling that we haven't discovered yet. But then this episode is also seed planting. Like, Jeremy's backstory is probably going to get elaborated on more as the show goes on. But that Raculus stuff is interesting as well. Like, Dabowski's got a sister, and I'm wondering if we'll find out why she's being held hostage in the next Raculus special, whether it's the second one or the third one. Or will we actually have Dabowski's character arc in the next like couple of episodes to learn what the heck is going on with that? Because I'm hoping they follow all of that soon and they don't leave it hanging for too long that we forget about it. So now that that's in the back of my mind, I'm curious to see where that's going to go. But either way, like Jeremy's backstory is very reminds me of Ko's in Die Ranger, where he spoilers for a 30-year-old show, but Ko's like related to the main bad guy as well. So I'm curious to find out, like not curious, but it's very similar to that. But if Jeremy's mother is like a queen, like Queen of the Bugnarok, then I'm wondering if Defnarok overthrew her and took over.
there could be that. I mean, they're completely different types of like species as well, like
Yeah.
between like Deathnarak and Jeremy's mom. So it could be, unless like, I mean, they haven't explained that the Bugnarok can literally like have to stay to one species. They could literally have a very weird, varied gene pool, and one comes out a spider and one comes out a worm, and it's just all until we get to find out the biology of
Yeah.
Bugnaroks and how like how their gene pool works, then
Yeah.
then maybe.
I need a hybrid offspring of the army ant.
Oh,
That suit
Yeah.
was too nice for me in one episode.
I'm just waiting for like his cousin or younger sibling to show up, and it's just like Colonel Ant as opposed to Sergeant Ant, and then we just have a whole military tree. Like
I
they go
want
to
that
different.
I want that joke.
Like, yeah, we need that. We need all of that. Probably the best monster design in the show when it comes to things, because it's just so classic Sentai. But yeah, there's a lot really when it comes to the mom. Like I was also with the thought process that she might be some sort of royal from there. Like we don't know if the Bugnarok themselves had their own individualized kingdoms as well prior to the humans like beating them down underground and then taking over the surface, because as we saw in the first episode, technically human society did not start evolving until they beat the Bugnarok. So it could have been that they had a complete monopoly over the surface world until they got beat down, and then like the tides turned. So they could have been one of those. So we don't know the entire aspects. Hell, we don't even know proper explainers for the Oja Caliber or the Kumonos Slayer or anything like that. Outside of like the toy listings, it could be possibly that they all originated from Bugnarok as well. Like there's a lot of different aspects here that we just don't know. But a lot of the newer stuff, like the suits and all that, seems to be a modern invention. So that means that the previous heroes did not change into like their King Oger forms or their Ranger forms or anything like that to fight. That's something new when Jeremy designed his own damn suit.
actually, Zio, in that flashback, if you look at Jeremy's dad, he has a human form and a knight form.
I mean, he has a knight form, but I thought it was just with the like little piece things on there, like just
Yeah, I don't think it
showcasing
was
off
like an
his
actual
items.
like Sentai suit type thing though.
I mean, it could be like a primitive suit, but it does seem like they had their own version of a suit. If you go back and check.
I will later on.
Okay.
But it's just because we had that one line from Yanma just saying like I didn't make that, implying that he
the
made
newer
those
ones.
suits. Yeah.
Yeah. the newer ones.
So it's just like the level of technology that they had going on with all that. Let's see. Do you think that Jeremy's mom is currently alive or no? Since she's probably I think that she's might still be alive. Maybe she's probably.
Yeah.
If oh my god, why are you suddenly zoomed in?
Oh, my computer
right.
just freaking.
It's
I
Ash's
think I hit
show.
a button. That's
Oh.
me. I hit a button because my computer was acting up.
There we go.
I'll let you change it back. Don't stop. I still have to work out some. I
This is the
accidentally went to
problem with
Windows
giving co-hosts to y'all out here
Yeah.
messing.
and Windows 11, which I was trying not to upgrade to, and it did it automatically on me.
Oh man.
We'll keep an eye out for that.
But yeah, I think there's a possibility that she might still be alive, and she might just be like ailing, like in like on her deathbed or something like that, or close to it. Since Deathnarak probably has been alive maybe around the same amount of time, I would say, because it would be kind of weird if he had been around before the prophecy and then suddenly the prophecy showed up and was like, I'm gonna believe that. I'm gonna believe that and stay on the ground for 2,000 years.
Oh my god! Imagine Zio. Imagine that's actually a thing.
Like we just get a flashback and it's actually Deathnarak the 8th. And it's just like, hey, did you read the latest newspaper? What? It says the Bugnarok's got to stay down for 2,000 years.
Everyone go down.
Why?
Let's go.
Well, when you come back, then you get the greater shoe gods. Oh, bet. Everybody get on the ground. Get on the ground now. We're going to stay for 2,000 years.
I want to see. I hope that's what happened.
That would
that's what happened.
actually be funny because he did write everything. So realistically, he wrote the prophecy before it happened. So like,
yeah,
probably had a hand in a lot of other stuff. If the rest of the season is everyone just finding out all these random things were because of him. Like the Loki show was supposed to be originally, where he's going through time, like impersonating people and like swaying history. I was like, we could just see like a whole, like even a 5-episode special on the side of like him just influencing different rulers, different leaders throughout the years. I'd be okay with it. That'd be fun.
Imagine wasting 2,000 years because hey, they did it. They did it. They technically did it. This episode kind of confirms that they legit stayed waiting 2,000 years because Jeremy said so. And that was it.
I mean, there's a lot of books that tell people a lot of things that people listen to.
Yep. So you can take it at face value.
Yeah.
It's legit like the way that it can work. So let's see what else. Oh, yeah. Technically, the way Jeremy's mom could work is like Wataru's mom from Kamen Rider Kiva. She's still alive. She just, punished Wataru's mom. Got the eye patch and everything. Yeah, so let's see here. Cloudy, didn't get your thoughts.
Oh, this is definitely my favorite episode of King Oger so far to date. It is absolute. I like everything about this debut because we got to see a lot of interactions with him and how he would react, with the different kings and how he plays off of them, which I think is great. The little tour guide of like every nation. We got his suit, which is fantastic. The fact that he doesn't like spelling things out for people, which I hope that plays into the future, because that's like, oh, he may know the answer to something in the future, but he's not going to let you know just like that. He's going to make you work for it. So I'm hoping we play that more up. And I like the fact that he's inserting himself as sort of the main lead, like as he said he was going to do last week. So I'm really thinking that's paying off, and I'm enjoying that a lot. But overall, this one of my friends from the VC said this was definitely felt like a One Piece kind of moment at the end, like when he was talking to all of them and they were like, oh yeah, we don't care that you're half Bugnarok or whatever, because it's like, yeah, everyone in the cast is just so like lovable, goofball, straightforward that something like that doesn't even bother them. So in a way that it was nice to see like Jeremy's just overthinking the whole situation, and him just saying I love you to all of them, and then the reaction of Rita and Himeno, just priceless. Great scene.
It's like, is this man for real?
Exactly. Like this episode balanced a lot of good comedy, a lot of great like setup for the future with its own paying off its own episode without making it weak as well. So it's like this did everything an episode in the middle of any season should do, and I think in the beginning, earlier episode should do, and I think because of that, that's why I rate it so highly, because it did everything I wanted and very well. You know what I mean?
Yep. So looking at here, someone posed a question and I put it up as a poll. 1v1, Jeremy v. Raculus. Who wins?
Ooh.
Jeremy.
But who wins the best? Henshin and Jingle starting at Raculus.
Raculus. Jeremy's going to beat the Jingle out of Raculus so he can steal that shit. It's like, I'm going to take your voice actor.
Out of curiosity, who's got the better voice and or suit? I'm sorry, not voice. I meant mech. Because we got the King Oger Zero and then the other one.
I mean, the King Oger Zero is literally just a repaint. Yeah. And while, Tarantula Knight actually looks good. Mm-hmm. Like, also forgot to know, got better toy pictures now.
I'm really mad. The little two side ones don't come with it. They're separate.
Yeah.
And actually, now that I think about it, that's kind of like the weakest part of Raculus's
that guy.
Oh, God. Don't you think that's like the weakest part of Raculus's whole shtick? Like, the fact that he's not exactly his own unique form. It's just a proto version of Gira's red form.
Right. And then that just looks so good. Look at that.
Yes. Everything about this just looks really good. I just like how sleek and like compact it is in terms of like just suit design in general for a mech. It's just like, this is the superior one. Like between all the other mechs, like I wasn't sold on buying the King Oger. I was sold on buying this. So I'm definitely
the crown.
Go on Mercari because a lot of people are reselling their King Oger DXs already for like
it does have 30, the crown on the
bucks.
Thorax here. That's clearly gonna go part of the big combination mech.
Oh, God.
Clearly. pop out.
I can't wait to see what it looks like all together because I've only seen shots of like the face and upper torso of the fusion mech.
So yeah. All right. Any other thing about King Oger before we move on to this week's Geats?
The pacing is, I don't know if it's because, like, you know, watching week to week in this, I feel like the pacing in the show feels a lot different. Because, like, you know, Zenkaiser, I watched up to episode like 15 or 16 while it was airing. Dawn Brothers, I got like 7 episodes. But, like, I feel like even though we're like 12 episodes in, it feels like they've given us enough information where it's like, I've been watching it for a bit, even though it hasn't been that long. And like a lot of the episodes still like kind of lead into each other.
Yeah, like I said, it's still very serialized. It still feels that way. And my biggest hope, like I said in my review, is that I really hope that the writers did actually plan the series out, like from beginning, middle, and end. And I hope that Toei and like their grubby, greedy, like, no, you got to change something here so we can get more sales from this shit.
Yeah.
Like that they don't interfere and cause rewrites because we don't need that.
Yeah, that'll suck if they do that.
It's actually
See what happens.
Yep.
Looking at you, Don Murasami Yoshitaijin.
Yep. That entire
Oh my
shit.
god.
Like, you know, it worked with what he had to, and he was just like, whatever, I'm just going to ignore the fuck out of this guy, and it's just going to become the deepest of lore. That became a nothing thing.
I mean,
All
I'm
right.
hoping it keeps the momentum.
So, of course, this episode of Geats is brought to you by Geats Left My Sheets to Pound Beef, the new novel part of the Geats in My Sheets line. Can't wait to see what the third book's going to involve, but we're getting saucy up in here. We are definitely getting saucy in this week's Geats. So, let's get to it. Oh my god, Hat Guy.
Can you get rid of that thing already?
No, Hat Guy stays. Hat Guy stays.
Just get rid of it,
Part of
Gio.
the crew
It's
now.
so inconveniencing.
He's gonna be right here. There you go. Stream is brought to you by Hat Guy. All right, so we start things off obviously with Win and Niram coming back to pack up shop because that was their entire thing last time was cleaning things up for the season finale. And I was trying to move this over to Cloudy, but it wouldn't let me, so it stays right there. So yeah, even Win's like, so you mean as you guys clean up shop, you're just gonna wipe out my memories as well? And he's like, nah, your sponsors get a choice. It's like, what's that choice? Whether or not you get to keep your memories or not. That's it. You don't get to travel to the future with them. Nah. You just get to remember this entire thing or forget it all. So it's up to you on what you choose to do with this knowledge. But otherwise, he puts on Win on some sort of special patrol, which makes no sense to me why Sueru would particularly revive these guys back, and everything that they're about to do is counterintuitive to what Sueru is kind of doing, unless that man's playing 4D chess. So, of course, we get Archimetal finally here. The build-up's here. All this talk of being undefeatable towards Riders finally gets tested as Archimetal out here manages to throw hands and beat Buffo down while completely pointing out that, yes, your powers only are effective against other riders, but to Jamatos, they don't do shit. So, of course, this is going to be a massive payoff for us at the end, right? Right? Nah.
Stop being coped, Zio.
Shut up. It's this whole episode.
Yeah.
This man knocks out the ID cores out of Buffa like Sonic losing rings, hitting a spike. It's amazing. It's great, great imagery we have here, and almost thumbnail bait if it wasn't so blurry, but completely leaves him for gone when Berova and Kekera show up to recruit Archimetal. Love this look on his face, like, really? Y'all showing up here while I'm trying to just do this for my boys, do this for my sons? Nah.
My chillins.
Yep. So now Niram's going off to Gene because he's got his own other set of agendas, and he's got to deal with the other audience members that have been just sticking their hands in the pot where it doesn't need to be. So, of course, he's gone to recruit them. It's also here that I realized just how short Niram is, considering how short Gene's actor is already. And I was like, damn, he's short. So here comes the premium man meet, of course, as we get our little quick conversation between Ace and Azuma. But of course, that's when Win attacks right after. You think it's just him attacking, but really not. He's just there to play buddy-buddy and explain to Ace that the entire reason why he's there is really because they're going to go ahead and investigate Mitsume for him. Both him and Sumidi are just going to go ahead and investigate that, which once again makes no goddamn sense to me why Sueru would revive these guys just for them to just start looking into Mitsume. But okay, because that's also a thing that Niram is also doing, is looking into Mitsume. And I'm just like, this better have a good payoff. But that's essentially the regurgitation of this week. So, what did Beroba and Kekera recruit Archimedo for? To kill Sarah. That's right, the plot point that we thought they were leading up to. We finally start getting a payoff. Obviously, this is going to be massive, massive for Kawa, because he's probably obviously going to go ahead and transcend full-on ninja and go into a power upgrade this week, right? No. Well, you know.
No.
What do you expect of Takashi?
Here comes a scene I look at entirely different after reading some fanfics this week, so I'm not going to get into it for those people that know, you know, but for those that don't know, you don't know.
I wish I didn't know.
You don't need to know.
I'm officially never asking questions anymore when you guys start bringing up stuff like, oh, what are you talking about? And now I'm like,
Mark, your curiosity is going to kill you every time.
There were some saucy fanfics that were read on the Discord server this week. That's all I'll say. And boy, yeah, I can't look at some characters the same ever again. Meanwhile, we've got Time Fire out here having a conversation with Niram, because of course the entire thing is, of course, since they're packing up shop, then you got to keep them memories or not. And he's just like, that's dumb. I hate this. You are just going to go to another time period, play your little game over there, cause some mayhem and shit over there. Like, what about my needs? What about me trying to get in y'all's? What about me getting my daughter, my not daughter, in your future people's pants? Like, what about that? That's my needs. Why can't y'all do that? It's here that I also realized how small Niram was in compared to Time Daddy.
we're just ranking all the heights. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Yep. Just Time Daddy out here being pretty big. So here that we also see Azuma's drawing or lack of drawing abilities, because I don't even know, like, the hell is that?
That's Kawa. That's a raccoon.
Yeah, but what the hell are these legs?
That's yeah, that's for
very
like, it's just it makes no sense. This is terrible. Why does she look like a hot dog?
Wait, who is that?
I think that's Sarah.
That looks nothing like. Oh my god.
Because that's
is that Geets or oh, that's Neon.
That's got to be Geets. That's Tycoon. That's Neon. That's Daichi, and that's Sarah. All right, rank the drawings. Which one's the best out of these? Which one of his drawings reigns supreme?
Can you just do
none of those would go on the refrigerator?
Drawing skills.
Yeah, these are the ones that it's just like, yeah, I'm going to put this up in the refrigerator tonight. Wake up the next morning, it's in the trash.
You just see Buffus with a broken heart.
Oh, it got wet when I was grabbing water out of the fridge.
Yeah.
Well, why is it cut in half over and over again?
I tried to dry it with scissors.
Just completely wrecking this man's entire life.
Yep, deserves it.
So yeah, he's trying to get that scoreboard going on when Ace shows up to demonstrate his drawing prowess with that detailed artwork just out of nowhere. He drew this in like 2 seconds at that too. Mm. So it's just scary.
I would destroy that one too and throw it away just because no one likes to show off.
I'm just saying that eye though is a bit wonky.
Listen,
yeah.
He didn't even eat yet. He was about to make hot pot. He had to rush. Okay.
If that's what he can do, Russian. Oh god.
But here's what Ace actually drew. There you go.
Hat guy.
Yep. Ace drew hat guy.
Crossing the multiverse, I see.
Yep.
They probably have a crossover V cinema coming up between Hat Guy and Ace.
Oh yeah. Specifically Hat Guy and Ace.
Yep. That's it. Only two people know
Hat Guy and Ace. right there.
They're just doing a Pictionary.
So of course afterwards, him and Buffa share their meats. I mean, they go ahead and eat
Their meats.
Yeah, they just share their meats and just completely tear that shit up. As Ace completely points out that the entire reason why Azuma is doing everything is, look, he's just playing anti-hero right now. He knows for a fact that because he's a writer taking down other writers, they don't actually die, so they just get retired. They go back to living their old lives and just live that pleasantry versus getting done in by a Jamato, because getting done in by Jamato means you're actually dead, aka he's actually doing well.
You haven't ended the Jeremy fight poll.
Oh yeah, it's okay. He got 89. Should have been 69.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh well, the winner was
That's two really good poll results in one stream.
oh yeah.
Welcome back, chat.
All right. Just out here acknowledging chat again. Like, there it is.
I didn't know we had chat this whole entire time.
You're just like, oh, there's Orb. Oh, hi, Orb.
No. It's nice when we're talking about dump trucks and spider shots and things like that. All right. So yeah, that's the entire thing. Here's another shot of them partaking in their meats. Of course, had to. But yeah, that's the entire thing. Is Azuma's entire quest for writer vengeance was actually just taking care of the writers by freeing them of the shackles of the DGP. That was his entire reason for it. So let's just completely forgive all his antics during the JGP and a little bit before all that. You know, all of that just never happened. He's just a nice guy. He's a nice guy. So, you know, let's go.
There's not enough room for this many nice guys. There's nice guy K1. That's it.
There's several attempted murders.
So meanwhile, more pieces of the fanfic that I won't go into, but Sarah's out here just completely getting inspired on what she needs to do, and thus she knows she has her motivation. She will fight for Neon, just for Neon's happiness. The commitment's been set, and chapter 2 of that fanfic is being written as we speak.
I have questions.
What
I
questions?
don't want to know.
What is it? Go on, Mark. Let your curiosity flow.
No.
Let it flow.
Nope.
Come on.
Nope.
Please.
Raise your hand if you've got questions.
Yeah.
We'll answer.
Nope.
We'll answer anything, Mark. Anything you want.
I don't want to know about any more fanfiction stuff.
We'll talk about it, Mark.
Yeah, so after all that, of course, Archimedes shows up ready to knock down Sarah. So finally, he's about to beat her up and finally give Kawa the upgrade that he needs. Nah, he just transforms and saves her, and then they go away. But that's just look on her face like, you bitch. You were a writer this whole fucking time. You bitch. Since when? Since when? Like, that look just says it all. I'm just like, peak. It's good stuff. Of course, the entire aspect on here was just like, yeah, look, I got my newfound motivation. We're just going to have to do this all for Neon-san. And yeah, but you shouldn't have lied to me like that, because I joined this battle so you wouldn't. It's like, well, I joined this battle to protect you. Well, it's whatever. Just figure this out. It's a non-plot anyway. So moving on to a premium man meet. Yes, because here we go. That smirk that Ace was given as Azuma walks by, and that side eye too as he's walking by. I was like, ooh, y'all getting it? Y'all out here about to get this? See, look at that. Look at that. It writes itself. It just writes itself. Of course, finally the tension and buildup we've been having since episode 1 is here. We get Ace and Azuma together doing their team up henshin. And with that, we get thumbnail bait. Saw a few people use this as their thumbnail. I knew it was going to happen.
What did I use? I don't remember. I think I did.
So clearly had that going on. And then this was the one really odd part of the episode for me was, of course, as Buffa gets attacked, Ace is like pretty much like says words of encouragement, like trying to like boost him up. Like he is like Ace has now tapped into some latent ass pull powers, and it triggers him using the Monstar buckle, because we don't see Buff actually press the Fever buckle himself. It just automatically swaps over to Monstar. And with that, Archimedo gets railed by Ace right after, and he is dead. He's dead.
He's
We
gone.
get
Good.
we get a couple more ID cores. Of course, Daichi's back right there, so y'all can shut up. Daichi's still gonna find a way to come back. But then we get these other ones here, and I don't know about you, but this top one here kind of looks like an elephant to me. Kind of looks like one of the guys that beat Toru up. So Ozma Redemption arc might be coming up. But yeah, let's get this elaborate shot of Archimedo here dying dramatically in the arms of his sons. But the actor got his flowers, so Archimedo is indeed dead.
Without any and all the plot holes leading up to everything that I had questions about never going to get resolved now.
Nope. When it comes to Jamatos and things like that, it's kind of done all that.
How are they fertilizer? What are there other ones that he can dig up in the ground that are like fossils and revive like freaking Aerodactyl from Pokemon? Like there's so many questions and I'm never going to get those answers.
Exactly. It really seems like the Jamato was such a like non-threat in this show after all this. Like this was the time for the Jamatos to finally do win someone, and it's just like, nah, we're beating them this week. We got them. Win never got his flowers. What are you talking about, Shitticle? That's why people kept speculating that he was going to come back, because he never got his flowers.
No. Nope, he never did.
So yeah, then of course, Beroba and Kikita show up, looking at them ID course kind of, schemingly when Gene shows up and is like, look, the season's about to end. Y'all got to vacate through this 4D wall, or else y'all are getting stuck back here. Actually, you're going to just cease to exist. So give me back that vision driver. And of course, they do give back that vision driver because, of course, we see it in the preview because Gazer's using it. But yeah, here it is. The big plot MacGuffin that you know is probably going to lead to the end game of it all. And I'm already speculating that like Ace is going to end up going through that hole or something, finding their actual bid bad. And that's where like everything ends up happening is just there. So yeah, that was this week's Geets when it comes to things. And I did not like this episode due to just all of the conflict resolutions that they have in the way that they had them. Because the thing is that they were building up to like something happening to Sarah. Then something's about to happen to Sarah. Nothing happens to Sarah. What are you talking about? Kayla just jumps in and all that stuff. Then, of course, we kept having all these seed plants for Kayla himself, just going ahead and just taking the reins. And it's just like, when are we going to get grim, dark Kayla? We're not because Sarah's fine. And even like he's been getting played off as a goofball. Like I mentioned this in my review that at least Daiji from Revice has gotten forms and upgrades by now. By this point in the storyline. But Kayla's gotten jack shit. Because even Command Buckle isn't even played up as an upgrade for him. Because he barely remembers to use it. So I'm just like, he is the Crown Prince of L's currently. Like, just there. About to get
an L bracket tournament for all the different characters throughout the seasons who's taken the biggest L on a season.
But yeah.
Because I'm a Kayla fan.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I'm just like, there's a lot of Kayla fans out there, and this show's just not doing it for y'all. Like, it's not. I'm just like, the entire aspect of, like, we had early on, like, back in the beginning of this show where we're like, oh, they might do, like, a Kabuto type thing where he's going to be, like, the Kagami character. The thing is, Kagami had his, like, I Hate You Tendo arc very early on in Kabuto, like, once he got, like, the B-Sector. But yeah, Kayla never really gone through that. He's just like, yeah, your mom needs to pay for what she's done, and I'm going to prove it, but except I'm not because my sister's in the game now, and things like that's going to happen, and yeah. So I'm just like, there's so many things here. Like, I kept addressing it as well. Like, why would Sueru, like, particularly bring back Miram and Win, and all they're about to do is literally investigate Mitsume? Like, does he want that? Is that what he actually wants them to do? Like, that wouldn't make any sense for me from a villain perspective that you would actually bring back people just to do that. For that, like, I would say bring back Girori, because at least Girori was firmly on the camp of, like, fuck Ace. Like,
did his actor get his flowers?
He did. Girori's actors did. So, it makes me think that they probably thought of this like way after the fact. Like it might have
Yeah.
been like not
Mm.
something that they had in the books initially, because even a lot of things that were going on with Girori and then later on Niram is just like, yeah, Niram literally should have played the Girori was right card after a while because it
Yeah.
literally went that route. So once again, I'm just like, I don't think Takahashi really thought through the storyline. Like I think
No.
that he's probably has been playing it by ear for like the last 15 or so episodes. But yeah.
Especially when you see what's been changed and like plot holes and everything that's been like abandoned, you could see like a lot of stuff wasn't like long term or even fully planned out.
Plus the fact that we had several arcs that were nothing. Nothing. Yeah, exactly. That was there to introduce Daichi, who got killed off last week. The guy had his IB core picked up this week, but now it's implied he might not really come back. Maybe later on for a side special. But with the Jamato, like who's really going to be the one cooking up Jamatos now with Archimetal Death? Like I don't know. So yeah, Ash, what did you think about this episode?
Like not a bad, like it was an okay episode. Like I feel like I'm just like hyping myself up for that Caleb power up that we haven't gotten yet. But had some cool fight scenes. Buffer's motivation is a little bit more clearer now because a lot of people say that Buffer's like the Vegeta where he just wants to be stronger and kill all the riders. He's got a clear motivation with what he wants to do now, which is cool. But yeah, I just feel like each episode is just like setting up for another setup. And this like next week we're seeing like the final form, but is that going to be at like the last minute? So is it going to be a setup for another setup? I think I've said this a couple of times. Like I think I might be like I'm still kind of enjoying Geats, but I think I'm also fatigued from like almost being near the end game with a couple more episodes left and we've already got the copyright. So I'm like, all right, how are they going to wrap it up? How are they going to wrap it up? How is it going to end? So yeah, this episode was okay. Maybe I'll like it when I do a rewatch. You never know, but it's a thing.
Mark, what did you think?
I mean, I agree with what Ash said. Like, I like the episode. It's a good episode, but like, there's so many plot points that now are in my, like the Jamato stuff and Archimetal stuff. That's basically throwaway. His actor's not here, so we're not going to, unless they film a lot of flashback stuff and explanations. I doubt it. One thing I didn't like is why does Ace keep using just Boost Mark II if he's going to get tired? Every time. In my review, I brought it up and somebody in chat's like, oh, maybe he's building up a tolerance. I'm like, no, he's not lasting as long. The amount of time he's in the fight has actually gone down.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, and I'm just like, so anytime I see a fight and he has Boost Mark II, I'm like, okay, I know how this fight is gonna go. He's gonna get sleepy. Then he's gonna go to laser boost. And then he's gonna win. And I did enjoy some of the little combo fighting. I did love that whole kicking off of Buffa's chest into the roundhouse.
That was great.
So good. A lot of great moments.
With the thing.
Yeah, he's like, see, you're invisible. Yeah, there's a lot of like good moments in all of Geats episodes, but like, I don't know. Like, we could all guess. Like, obviously, the gate. Something is coming out of that,
or someone's going into it.
Yes, or someone's going into it, or someone's going to be left behind. But a lot of because I'm hoping it's not a throwaway line, but Hilo said if you're allowed, whoever's not through that gate, you cease to exist.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, maybe a future supporter actually sacrifices themselves. Maybe I don't know.
Kyun.
Yeah, I was gonna. And then there's a lot of awkward pairings because like Ace and Michinaga pairing up is weird, but then Kakura and Baroba together just really makes no sense because the last time they were on screen together before they started the little buddy thing is all the supporters were fighting Baroba.
Which that episode in itself, the way that ended with them fighting it, and the next episode is just like, yeah, that was a fight that happened. And then it's just like, yeah, but why did it need to happen? Like, it didn't really need to happen, after the fact. Like,
everything in, like you said, there's a lot of throwaway arcs, a lot of stuff that didn't even happen. And it's one of those things where everyone who would crap on Saber or Revice, Geet start off stronger than most of those. But, like, let's face it, we had a lot more. We were already prepared for the end game, and a lot of stuff was tied up by now. so there wasn't as
Yeah,
much moving parts going on.
and I think, look, I don't get the concept of Geats being a slow burn because it came out the gate swinging.
Yeah,
The thing is just like normally a slow burn implies that, you're building up to something, but the way that Geats has been playing it is that they'll introduce a plot point and then completely either shelve it or pay it off in the most like lackadaisical way the next episode, if not the episode after that, to the point that it's like, why was this even a thing? Why would you even get us invested in this plot point if it was just going to be nothing?
plus, let's face it, we've had so many 2-episode arcs. That's not how you do a slow burn.
No.
Like a slow burn would have been like, okay, like you could have maybe there's slow burns for characters like Kawa if he at any point does like get angry and get his power up. That's a slow burn, but there's been a slow burn in like a snail's pace of giving us like progression because he's regressed so many times. 2 episodes ago, the episode ended with Sarah being knocked out, and he literally told Ace like, "No, I'm not having forgiven your mom. Like it's going down." And then next episode, he's literally just cosplaying freaking Snake, poorly hiding and stalking Sarah and Nan.
Only for the next episode to abandon the whole camouflage look and is just literally right behind them.
What
Out
the
in the
heck?
open, just crouched down, not even fully crouched down, just like subtly like, and I'm like, sir, like you're in the middle of the road. I can see like, and it's the thing is like, Kawa had potential to be like, and I'm not putting this like one of my favorite non-main riders, and that's going up there with freaking Garen. And Chalice, depending on how you want to look at Blade, we're not going to go into that. But it's like one of those things where I'm like, he started off so good. We were learning about the DGP through his eyes and his experiences as well as Nan, and like they had great interactions. And I put up my review, like when the other episode when he's sitting down talking to Nan, he's like, "You could come live with me and Sarah. Like she wouldn't mind. Like you could stay with us. You don't need to we don't need to forget about you." And I'm like, when they had interactions together that weren't hokey, they were great. But it's once every 12 episodes. Like there's so much stuff that isn't like, it's almost like they're only planning it every 2 episodes or 4 episodes at a time. They're like, hey, what if we had like 2 episodes where this happened? Where would we place it in the show? I don't know. Put it right after the disaster arc. What are we gonna do for the disaster arc? Oh, like I didn't think about that yet. Something. We'll make it 4 episodes.
We'll make it work.
Yep.
Yeah. It's one of those things like a lot of stuff feels like an afterthought, and important things are plot holes.
I feel like there's
his parents. What about their parents?
nothing.
Yeah.
Because Sarah has her memories.
She didn't say
You
anything.
think they would? Yeah. Like last time she touched Kawa's ID core, she had the flash of everything, and she's like, "Those are the things that killed our parents." And now
I mean, but she also did forget that she already met Ace and knew that Ace was a writer. But
yeah, that's
we
what I'm
were just
saying.
gonna throw that away.
There's stuff that's like there's so many plot holes, and to go back to the slow burn thing, things that could be a slow burn aren't working. Like obviously Ace discovering the secret about his mom, that's a slow burn. That worked fine enough, but like you can't have every plot point in this and every character have a slow burn. Buff is a slow burn still, even though I don't know. I don't even know what's going on with Buff anymore. He's buffing too much balls. Like I don't know.
I like how someone speculated. Here it is. Sarah might turn into Kawa's buckle and give him a 4.
Oh my god, no. Well, considering
Listen,
I
Ace
mean,
pointed the boost buckle at the sky and got a whole bunch of things.
I mean, given that Boost Spark 9 is essentially just Ace
and his mom.
Yeah. It's literally just live action Cubimon from freaking Digimon.
You mean Oedipus?
Like man, we're just going all in onto that stuff. But yeah, Cloudy, quick thoughts before we start getting into all the new information about Geats.
I mean, let's
how's your hand before you start trashing this episode?
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know if we've worked something out, but my hand has been pretty safe recently.
Okay, so you can shit on Takahashi's writing. Great.
Oh, absolutely. But basically, it's I don't know. Just to leap off what Mark said earlier about Kawa, like even from the very beginning, we got like regression for Kawa because like you had the moment when he first got beaten up by the cactus, and he was like, "No more trust." Next episode, back to trusting Geats immediately. Then you get the next time he comes back and he's all happy go lucky. Then he gets knocked out, and then we get to the part where, what do you call it? The part with all the holes. His sister's falling. He's very angry at Geets. He's like, "What the fuck is going on? What does your mom have to do with any of this?" And he's like, literally has Geets in his like holding Geets up, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, next episode, don't care." He got bubbled, and then when he came back, he didn't care anymore. And then obviously recent events happen. It's just like they it's like Takahashi has maybe like a plan of how he wants Keiwa to go, but they never pull the trigger and are like, let's commit, let's make Keiwa, angry or mad at Geets or an actual rival or something, which is annoying in itself. But that's its own tangent. The episode itself was boring, a little bit, because
Look, I got a lot of dislikes for hating on this episode. Like,
I
it's
don't
probably
care.
my
I'm
most disliked Geets review. So
I don't care. I'm not on Twitter. No, everyone can dislike me if they want. It's just one of those things. It's like there's so much payoff in this episode, like setup and payoff in the episode itself, that like it's annoying because you got obviously, Jamados can kill Buffa. Great. Doesn't get paid off later. It just he gets knocked out a couple times. That's it. Then we get his reasoning for why he's good, and then immediately, we're buddy with Geets now, so let's kill the Jamato, and then he's dead. That's it. There's everything with that. Kay was just like, okay, Sarah knows my identity now, so that's fine. Yeah, we're cool. We talked it out. We're fine. Like, no big build up for that. Everything I've been hiding for the past couple episodes means nothing. Sorry about that. Sorry for anyone who's annoyed by that or like thinks like, yeah, I know Geets is great. I mean, it's fine to have an opinion or show. It's okay, but it's just like, I don't know. There's just so much stuff that isn't getting worked out properly, at least in my opinion. They're not fleshing things out or taking the time to progress each point that they're introducing, which kind of makes it annoying because there's generally some interesting stuff going on that could be happening, but it's not. It's just being thrown at you and then falls right off, if that makes any sense.
no, I mean that's the entire issue with this show right now. Really, just comes with the general pacing, and like I really feel that Takahashi had like he just had a storyboard and he just said Ace is the main character, but he's developed, so I'm gonna focus on these characters. And Toei said, "Hey, stop! He's the main character." He's like, "Oh shit, you're right." So then he just like brushed everybody aside and was just like Ace main character, and then just started rewriting from there.
The only thing left that I want them to pay off, by the way, is why the boost buckle has it out for Keiwa. I need that to be paid off.
I think that's
way.
literally just gonna end up being a joke, and unless it ends up being like, oh yeah, the boost is just one of the incarnation of Ace in the future, and he just wanted to dick around with Keiwa.
I just if anything has some consistency, I need to know. I need to know why.
I think Mr. Cool Guy means Ace is more of a main character than Iki, because I don't know who Kiki is, unless Kiki's delivery service has been made into a writer show.
You've never seen the Kiki's Delivery Service Kamen Rider adaptation?
I did not.
Oh, damn.
Must have been a ghost episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean that's true because Iki was definitely a background character in his own show, so they probably were like, yeah, let's not fall into that. Let's not fall for that bait when it comes.
A lot of us brought up. It does feel like I feel like when they planned the show, they just wrote everything ahead of time for Ace and what they wanted, but not how they were going to reach that point for each one, like Boost Mark II and so on. They didn't have it fully planned out, but then everyone else was like, and after like, okay, he has a rival that's an antagonist, and they're gonna, he just wants to show he's better than Ace and not cheat, and then later on he's gonna get OP, intently have hacks on his suit.
And they were like, oh yeah, let's make it so this form is sleepy so we can go ahead and actually use the proper upgrade. But yeah, with this episode of Geets Preview, we got the form that is known as Boost Mark III.
Oh, that's
yeah,
Three tails.
Yeah, so this one is 3. So this one is Boost Mark III. And introduces a new buckle that literally, from what I've read, is likely the goddess of creation. Like, just out here, just giving it out to Ace, and he's just like, "Yes, mommy dearest."
I was
And
gonna
he
make
just,
the joke.
Don't say it.
Nope. TOS.
Don't say it, Mark, please.
But yeah,
Not gonna do it.
the thing that I don't like, and they clearly intended this to be like a temporary form, obviously, because it's just a repaint of Boost.
Mhm.
That's it. It's literally just a repaint of Boost. Like when I first saw it, I was like, oh.
Guess we'll never see anyone using the top half of Boost anymore.
Do you think this is the Berserker form that leads into 9?
Well, the thing is, it's just like I already knew the second looking at this that because of the little hinge down here, that this
Yeah.
is going to open up. That this is going to open up, and that's exactly what the scans initially will reveal once I get to them. But I mean, my biggest issue that I have with this and Geats 9 is this little ring around here that ends up becoming like a full circle. It's just like it just throws so many things off when it comes to that. And I'm just like, it's a thing. But yeah, how do you guys feel about like us automatically already getting like Boost like Mark III next week?
Don't like it. I don't know. It just seems off. Like, something about it's like, I don't know. It's like too much white for his forms. Like Laser Booth had like the white and this that. I was like, I don't know.
They're really just leaning a lot onto the
Fox thing.
the aesthetics of it.
Also, I mean, given the location of the driver and the buckle, that's way too close for one man to have his mom.
I mean, if any of you guys have played Okami, then it's just, you know.
Yeah, well, I get the Okami vibes for it. It's just,
here's another look at it.
Yeah, like that, you can see where it's definitely folds in half, like it folds out. I mean, I saw the folded out skit. It looks nice. Just, I don't know what it is. A lot of the gimmicks this season haven't really like appealed to me. Yeah, like I was pointing out, this is out of all the seasons, this is the least amount of gimmicks I've bought for a season in recent years.
Oh yeah, looking at all the Vi stamps I've got versus the buckles, it's like it's night and day.
There's nothing that just was like wow.
Yeah, like I almost have every Wonder Ride book, and then for Vi stamps, I only got the first 10 to put on the holder, like George had, and then I got a few other ones here there with other drivers and this and that, but I didn't really go crazy. But like I have,
the
Magnum Boost and Zombie, and then the music edition one for Beats that came with the CD.
Well, the books are such a good gimmick because not only do you have like the art when it opens up, it literally tells you a story as you.
Yeah,
it's like
that's a good gimmick. Yeah. And then I have all the Legend Rays ones, but that's just because those are like, you know, basically anniversary gimmicks, so those don't count because they're not in the show.
So yeah, here we go. This is Geats 9. So the actual thing is, once we get the Revolve on going on with the Boost Mark III buckle, that actually triggers the proper transformation into the Geats 9 form. And hey, look, the Jamatos are back just to get body. We even get Jamatos riders back just to get body. So which is weird because I'm gonna need the proper explainer for this, just because the fact that Archimedes said that like the Jamatos that were hanging out with him were literally the last Jamato around. So either they got the fertilizer working, in which case we're terribly getting Jamato riders back and we're not getting proper like hybrids. We're literally just getting reused assets for the Jamatos. Then
we saw the ones like that got revived after Buffalo 1, and we never saw them again at all since they got revived.
Maybe.
But yeah,
it's a plot hole.
So a better look at this thing. It is the Nine-Tailed Fox. He gets a cape that essentially doubles as the Nine Tails as well, all going on there. I actually do like the chest piece. I do like how it looks like the grill of an engine, like right there. So it definitely leans into the Boost aesthetics from the base forms that it's pulling from, while really going in with all of the just the Geats color scheming of the prominent white with the red accents on there. The only issue that I have is just this target right there, target around his mom. I'm not about that.
Maybe it's telling him where to aim, you know.
Telling Buffa where to aim.
Yeah.
Oh god.
If there's another circle on the back, like when the when the cape lifts up, that's going to be the target for Buffa
For
right
Buffa.
there. There you go.
Just, the fan fiction writers get on it.
Yep, fan
Please
fiction
don't.
writers gonna get on it. All right, so what do you all think about the formal like reveal of these grainy pictures? We got a Geats 9. I actually like the suit, so
No,
yeah, I
it's
like
great.
it as well.
I like how you pointed out that it does look like the front of a car. I thought it was like a reference to Ryuki.
Oh,
Almost.
because remember,
I
Boost
didn't even
Mark
think of the
II
car thing.
changes into the Boost Striker when it does revolve
true.
on, which once again they forgot that's a thing
Yeah.
because he could have been doing that. But it might also imply that there's another that we might get Boost Striker coming back, maybe with a white variant.
maybe.
But I think that might be too much white.
I like the minimalists of like all of Ace's upgrade forms. Like other than obviously Command Twin, which I don't really count as an upgrade form. Like they've all been very sleek, very like not over the top, which I've been very enjoying. Like you ever have like these over designed final forms? I like how we're not getting that for a lot of what do you call it? For a lot of Reiwa, except for Saber, most of them, most like the upgrades don't seem like they ever go like beyond like an unrecognizable thing from what the base writer is, which I like.
Yeah, like the mask is always like the subtle, like other than color with all the white on it, like it's subtle changes to it that are noticeable, but it's like still sleek and nice.
Like you can recognize where it came from, which is it's good.
Yeah, I don't have the picture of it, but there is a new weapon that is essentially just a magnum shooter with a sword.
Oh, the QB Buster?
Yeah. And that's really it. But honestly, like I actually like this form more than my first impressions of Ultimate Revice. Because when I first saw Ultimate Revice, I was not feeling it until I had to see. It was one of those that I was like, I have to see it in motion for me to like it. But this one already, like in the static images, I already like the way that it looks.
It's gonna look even better in motion. Oh yeah.
Yep. Especially just knowing how good like Geats' at least like their fight sequences go with their choreography. Like I'm already like this is probably gonna be great when it comes to the fight choreography.
So this is Geats' final form. When are we getting any of the secondaries final forms?
There are no secondaries. It's just Geats.
Is this Geats? Okay, gotcha. He's gonna get another final form besides this,
They're gonna get final forms, but it's literally gonna be a dream sequence in an episode, and then they're gonna be
Wait, Master Rider gonna give it to you. Don't you dare speak of that form right now.
What form? I didn't see the comment.
Don't worry about it.
Let's see if people like this form or not when it comes to it. The thing is, like, I'm glad that they actually went with the white aesthetic as opposed to like the red that we got with because it's nice having that little in between. Especially since the base Geats was known with Magnum and Boost, and then the fact that Boost got the real prominent appearance for the middle of the road upgrade until Laser showed up and whatever. But then this one here, just like at least this makes up for Laser Boost because I'm a bigger fan. I would say actually looking at these, I'm probably still a bigger fan of Boost Mark II than Geats 9, but still. Like
it's definitely not bad.
It's not.
I like the fact that we got orange. We got a lot of orange on this, which is pretty cool. It's rare to get.
I do like the cape thing on the back. That is actually pretty neat.
I don't know how it fights, but excited.
With a gun
and
that
a sword
becomes a sword.
I just wonder
That's going to be a
fast.
terrible toy until they come out with a memorial. I mean, a fucking CS not G of it.
That's. I just noticed the slash that goes across the circle. It's like an anti-Phase theme or opposite.
There it is. That's where the rumors were pointing to last year. There is next generation Phase right there. It was Geats 9 the whole time. They were like, we got to play the bit now. We got to play the bit now.
Oh god. I mean, it's very clean.
It's just weird from like this one angle where he's using the sword because it looks like the tails have literally moved from being a cape to being just like a waistcoat type thing, like actually being tails versus being.
Wait, I don't think it's like an actual like cape. I think it only flows from the sides, the waist down.
It's a waistcoat, basically.
Yeah.
Sort of sad. It's like a little skirt
like-
dress thing,
Yeah, it's like one of those like
like a
jacket-
penny coat.
Yeah.
And then way to assert his dominance against someone using it's a Jamato rider that's been hacked, but is using a Jamato buckle and the Magnum
Yeah.
buckle.
Oh my god, a Jamato.
So someone's hacked the Jamato riders with Geats coming up.
So is this also debuting in the next episode or the episode after? What do you guys think?
The thing is,
I
I think this is probably why they gave us like the preview of Boost Mark III in the episode, because they were like, yeah, these scans are going to come out this week. There's no way we can hide this shit. Because I was just like, that's the only reason why you guys would show us this form in the preview, is if you knew scans were going to come out. And that's exactly what ended up happening.
Yep.
So, someone says that they think Kekera becomes Glare too. So,
Didn't he give back the driver? Right.
well, the thing is, we see Gazer. What if
Yeah.
it's not near him?
Oh, who do you think could be Gazer in that?
Time fire.
Jin.
Jin.
Either that, or because it's not Peroba, because the suit actor did not look like it was Peroba's suit actress. I mean, it could be Kekera's like human form, just being like, fine, I'll do it myself type thing.
Hmm.
If that's the case, why is he fighting Geats and not his supporter? You know, because isn't his whole thing to like give Kawa motivation to like go beyond?
Yeah, so what better way than killing the main character so Kawa can be the main character?
I wish.
Sure.
I honestly hope that Geats gets put in the grave.
So
Wow. Glad I hear.
there's that.
Well,
aspect.
no. It's... Oh my god.
No, so outside of that, we also got pretty much the listing for some actually just real quick, just to piss people off further with a particular scan as well. Groovy got his own scan along with this Dalmatian thing here.
Oh my god, it's groovy.
So I'm just like, when's the groovy Toei Tokusatsu fan club special? Like, when's that gonna hit? Like, that needs to start being a thing now. Like,
Oh
that's
my
probably what they're gonna do now. It's like, yep, here we go, groovy out here, about to turn up.
Yeah,
So just gonna do specials about previous freaking DGPs and stuff.
Yeah, because he's probably the previous DG Desire like god deity that lost.
Not with that helmet.
Man's
That's not
best
a winner's
friend.
helmet.
It's a man's best friend.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Graph, I hate Ryder. That's how I really feel. I hate all of Ryder. Never liked a single one.
all right, so I don't have the pictures for it, but one of the things that did get technically pointed out was a memorial laser raise riser.
What?
What?
But
A
how?
memorial laser razor. You heard me right.
What?
You heard me right.
I'm fucking
What?
buying it.
What
I'm
the heck?
I'm so mad since, of course, I bought the laser raise riser, but it's just like, nah, bruh. This one comes with 6 cards, including the new King and Queen cards.
What? Oh.
Because, of course, if you tried hacking the like laser raise riser, it only makes the sounds for the 4 cards. And when I looked at the pictures of the cards earlier, I saw the treads that they had in there, aka the ones that, you know, don't make any sounds on the current laser raise riser. So they're literally re-releasing the laser raise riser with these 2 additional sounds, which now makes me, like, as someone
Angry?
that buys these toys, not want to buy these toys until like they're about to end the series now. Because if they're like, yeah, that's all the sounds you're going to get, then I'm just going to be like, bullshit. You're just going to re-release another version of it that comes with all the other shit and has more sounds. So now I'm just not going to buy this one. Like, thank you for just laying that out there already. And then putting the memorial moniker on it without Geats even being over, just completely just threw so much shit out the window. Like when it comes to memorial editions.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, so I'm not liking that. I'm completely just no.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
Uh,
I want it.
God. Did you get a first laser raise riser?
I don't know. Doesn't matter. Still gonna get it.
So yeah, because of that, now that adds in the speculation of the fact that we've got two cards and they're the king and queen card. Meaning that, I don't know, it would be kind of weird if you had two supporters that were king and queen, but that might be the route that they're going, unless they're like, no, these are the real users of the laser. They're the ones that issue out the laser raise risers to all the audience members. They're the bookies at the venue.
Do you think they'll give them to Jamatos? Maybe. Oh.
I mean, given that it's king and queen, they could be Jamatos.
Yeah.
And they were playing off with that entire chess board game thing that we never got a proper payoff to.
We got Rook.
Unless we actually end up getting the origins to the Jamatos, and it's just like, yeah, they were just space aliens the whole time.
That would just be so annoying.
They were just space aliens, and the
space
BGP
aliens.
just existed to like just keep them at bay for the time being. If they end up pulling some stupid shit like that, I'm just whatever.
Oh god.
So yeah. The next toy besides the QB Magnum buckle, is the fantasy buckle, but it specifically states that it's for Nago. So of course we've known about the fantasy buckle and the sounds for the Desire Driver for the longest time, and Kawa stands were frothing at the mouth that this was a Kawa upgrade. Nope. Looks like Nago is actually going to get something.
Wow.
So
Nice.
I wonder when the show's almost over.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Just like
Yeah.
when
Good
Sakura
job.
got her upgrade.
11 to
Let's
12
do it.
episodes to go.
Do you think if we don't get these in the show, they'll be in the summer movie?
Oh
It's around
my
the corner.
god.
Yeah.
I hope not, please.
That's how you piss off an entire fan base.
That's
Yeah.
how you get everyone angry.
Yep.
I'd be all right with it.
The next one is one that maybe I might buy because I personally hate the Power Builder buckle just because of the like actual toy like construction truck color scheme, but a DX different color seeker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's another one on there.
What's
So
his
I'm
new,
just like,
what's his new color?
I don't know. It just says different color.
Oh, okay.
Well, hopefully it's not weird construction orange or yellow, because that was not appealing.
And the other one, it's actually not listed on here, so I'm just going based off of memory. There was a Shogun buckle for Kawa,
Yep.
but I forget what was the Buffa one as well.
It was Demon King Buffa.
Yeah.
Demon King Buffa. So yeah,
That sounds
Buff-
awesome.
so it's just
Yeah.
like
That sounds
Buffa actually
badass.
gets a proper upgrade as well that we get for all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, okay, so it looks like everybody's getting
In the movie.
upgrades, except for Nago's just getting a different buckle, but everybody else is getting proper upgrades from the sounds of it.
What if they all get their buckles right before the last fight and that's it?
Yeah. Imagine Geese
All their
just pulls it-
supporters are like, we're going to use all our desire coins or points, which was a thing for a while that everyone forgot about. And they're all just going to get new buckles
Yep.
for one fight only. One time.
Yes,
use.
that means that Azuma does live. So yeah, that's another thing. It's like, yeah, that man's gotta live to like enact vengeance, especially if they do end up reviving at least the ID cores of the writers that did in his friend Toru. So that's a real possibility, as well as how we end up playing into that.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of Geet stuff that we got. Along with some reissues, we currently already saw on some websites that you can get the CSM V buckle reissue.
Mhm. I don't have it.
Along-
I will.
Yep, along with the CSM drag visor. That's another one. DX Fang Memory. That's one I'm buying because
Yeah.
that was a hard to find commodity, especially with these like CSMs have been available for so long and nothing of that. I'm just like, I need it. Need that memory. Along with the DX Extreme Memory. So they're re-releasing the double DXs just for these CSMs for a lot of the reissues. And of course, to really late catch in on the Futo PI hype when they should have actually released that last year. But you know, better now than never.
Yeah.
So, all right, with who's buying any of this stuff? Who's interested in buying any of this shit?
The Fang memory for sure. The Ryuki CSMs are already taken care of.
Oh
Because
God.
yeah, and that's about it. I don't. It's really well. What do you think about how much I've because I was already keeping track of what I've been spending. I haven't really bought much from like a gimmick standpoint. On my Sotos, I've been buying King Osier stuff. So like, there's a lot of stuff that like I haven't bought, and this is stuff I missed out on. Like I never found any of the DX stuff for Ryuki, and it's sad. So I'm like, I want those. It just sucks. We have all the Fi stuff and everything else coming out, but it's like I haven't really spent too much so far this year.
I'm definitely getting the extreme memory for sure.
Yeah, I'm getting Extreme and Fang. That's definitely in my gotta get list. Hold on, I'm just replacing Ash real quick.
Oh my God.
With Kevin here. There we go.
I'm looking up the Ryuki CSMs because I might want to pick up a few of those. But
Well, I mean, the Ryuki like V buckle just comes with all of them.
all of them? Oh.
Yeah, it comes with all the decks.
Ooh. All right.
That's part of the reason why it's so expensive. You get them all. It's all there.
I might pick it up. I might be forced to. I need to add it to my TokuTonic.
So.
Oh, Mark is angry about me fluffing my numbers for the TokuTonic.
He said it before the stream that you were fluffing up your numbers, but gifts don't count.
What do you mean they don't count? You said they counted.
Nah, it's got to be money that you actually like spent for yourself for your own collection.
I spent it for others. Oh God.
Nah.
Yeah, stop being nice.
You ain't got to be nice.
Unless you want to buy me a Ryuki CSM.
Yeah, unless you want to get me a birthday present.
My
birthday is Tuesday.
My birthday is today.
I was, but maybe.
Wait, which reminds me, I'm still lacking, some Meanwhile Sononi videos, guys.
Oh, don't you worry. We were talking about MVC earlier.
There's 88 of y'all watching right now, the live stream. I'm still taking Meanwhile Sononi, like bits that I will watch on Tuesday's live stream, birthday live stream of watching people's Meanwhile Sononi bits.
There's a couple in VC I was talking to today. They're just not done with theirs yet. They haven't submitted.
Mine's gonna be literally like a freaking Christopher Nolan film. Putting the budget into it.
How much for that new Geeks books of yours?
$69.99. I didn't hear what he said.
Yes, probably $69.99. That sounds like a good price. Very good price. Get some neat for this one. Y'all get ready for all that. For all of that.
Oh yeah.
Zoran, you don't gotta keep spamming a specific name. You know we're gonna be getting to it like emphatically. Like you knew that this was gonna be the main thing that we're gonna be ending the
show. It's in the title.
It's in the title. We got you hard.
Yeah.
We got you hard for some Gachard.
Oh, God.
So yeah. Another thing that was actually listed on here before we actually get properly into speculation on Gachard is also DX Toy is DX Gachard mechanical and water. Yeah.
That's weird.
Meaning that it's possibly another dual combination writer already. So it's already like, okay. So of course, for those of you that might have like been away from the internet for like the last week, we got the trademark. We got the trademark for the new writer for 2023, and its name is Gachard. And I know that there's a lot of people that are speculating that it's probably gotcha mechanics and cards. And that's the thing I keep getting a lot in my comment section. Like a lot of folks are speculating that it's possibly that. I just like thinking outside the box. That's part of the reason why my entire like YouTube short was just like, well, you know what? I know a lot of people that are gonna guess that, but I'm just like, let me go against the grain and just throw out some 2 cents on here. Can be completely wrong, but hey, that's how the speculation game normally goes. So what camp are you guys in terms of what the name might be? Ash, I'll start with you.
I think I'm on the like speculation of cards because I think they'd just be really fun to collect. Because apart from Decade and Ryuki, they've never really done a card gimmick
Blade.
in a while.
Blade.
Oh, I haven't seen Blade. I do apologize.
No, it's
Blade.
Actually, but yeah, like, because I skipped out on the buckle gimmick, but if the gimmick for this season's worth collecting, then I definitely want to go back and, well, not go back. I want to collect this upcoming gimmick if it is going to be cards.
Thing is, I'm just like cards. I'm honestly tired of cards because I see the gimmicks too much, especially since Decker just finished using cards in Ultraman as well. And then, like, if you watch the latest episode of Outsiders, they tease that the next episode of Outsiders is gonna go into some crazy wackadoodle like card combinations that I'm just like, the fuck are you guys smoking right now? Like, actually having one of the Decade cards fused with one of the undead cards from Blade to create like cosmic form Forze. I'm just like, what are you doing? What is this? And I'm just like, okay, all right. So I'm just like, but the thing is, cards would make sense in a way for Toei in terms of profit margins, because for those obviously that don't know, cards are very low cost effort things for them to make and very high revenue items for them to just bang on. Like, it costs them literal cents to make like those cards if they do go with cards, and they're gonna sell them for like, probably like $10 to $15, like cheaply. Like that's probably like in the very like liberal estimate in terms of things.
We could get like a good actual TCG for the cards, maybe.
If they actually ended up making an actual card game mechanic for it, that might be cool. But we'll see how it actually ends up.
If it is cards,
playing into it. So, if it is cards, but then of course, if it is something like a gacha mechanic, then there's also like the whole randomized things of items, and I'm just thinking like Fever Buckle galore in terms of this. If it's actually like the slot machine based, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or something like a gashapon machine, or God forbid, pachinko.
Oh, fuck.
Pachinko? No.
No. I almost bought a factory sealed Ultraman pachinko machine for like $600 the other day. It's like, it was right over at my local comic book shop. They just had one factory sealed. Like,
I wouldn't put it.
It's like the little mini ones, like this big. I was like, I kind of want that.
Yeah. So Mark, what do you think about this name when you first saw it?
I thought more of the gacha side of things than cards, because I have the logistically standpoint. Yes, the revenue split, making cards dirt cheap, make your money back. But look at how Toei likes to release gimmicks for people to pay for. They're not going to get that with a card game, a card gimmick motif. It's not like with Decade and Blade, because they weren't really deep into the merch like they are now. They got like it's so I'm thinking more of the gacha style, because what's really big right now, besides the gachapon machines, gacha video games, you got Genshin, you got Honkai Star Rail. Yes, they're big here, but they're bigger in Japan than they are here. I could see it being some sort of gacha system, but make it like fun, maybe. Like I don't know how they would do it, but I'm thinking more of that than a card.
Well, how about this? Just thinking about it, because the thought crossed my mind while like looking at the background and seeing my vision driver. What if the card is like a credit card, and he swipes it on the belt, and that is how like it determines whether or not a gimmick pops out?
What, like one of the like Digimon Tamers, or?
Wait, do you think they'll do something so random after Geats, which was
because that's art imitating my real life when I go shopping.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, I could see that happening. That like, especially because, let's face it, after the Demon's driver from Revice, we have gotten more of the LED style drivers are becoming more like. I feel like they're getting geared to go into that shift of driver style, because they make money on those. Let's face it, I know about like the Demon's driver sold like crazy. Then people did go get the Deathstream one, like myself, even though it was just a repaint. And then, you know, you got the Vision driver as well. Like those driver styles are getting very popular. They are getting more advanced with the DX drivers and even some of their CS EBs, like the Black Sun one and then the Shadow Moon that's coming out. So I could see that happening from a driver standpoint. They're getting more intricate with them.
What happens if the main writer's card gets declined, though? You get a FIS error. Like, that would be it. Actually, I wouldn't mind if the actual driver had a like a screen mechanic that showed how many credits you had at the start of each fight, and as he swipes it, the card just gets lower and lower because, of course, they're buying the gacha gimmicks. And then once they reach 0, it's just like, that's it. You just can't get any more gimmicks. You're done. Like, got him. This would literally just be an embodiment for the entire like older toy buying fan base of it. So it's like, yeah, we made this whole series just for you guys that spend the money on this kind of stuff. We made a whole mechanic that just embodies this. The main character is a gambler.
Okay.
Oh,
That hits a little too close to home.
Yeah.
But
Look, if
where's
if
the
I'm
hat?
guessing all this shit right, like I'm gonna activate Shining Form like during the press conference. Like that would be it. Like that would be crazy. It's like, yeah, the main character is an ace gambler and is just out here just playing with stakes. So Cloudy, what did you think of this name when you first thought of it? Did you think of Chard the vegetable? Because I had a few comments also saying maybe he's a vegetable writer because Chard.
Oh, you mean like oh no.
Yeah.
No, I did
I
not
mean,
think
it's
that.
not impossible. We had a season about fruit.
We did, and a season about vegetables could lead into like Dragon Ball stuff, which maybe could be very cool. I don't know. I don't think we'll get that. We're not going to get that far. I definitely lean towards the gacha mechanics more than I lean towards the card gimmick, only because, like Mark said, it's very popular. And like, if any of you guys have ever played Yokai Watch, like that was very popular using the gacha machines. And if you know, like what I always thought, well, what I was thinking was just like to relate back to like Kamen Rider and like the whole Bugman theme was like you could get bugs throughout like in Japan you can actually get like there's these bugs you can collect from gacha machines that you can that are actually pretty popular and you can collect them through various like vendors. So maybe it'd be like something like that where the power-ups are bug related and you just pull them out after like each one. I don't know. Because like, it would be nice to go back to bug theme. I know we had 0-1 a couple, seasons back, but that wasn't really like bug theme.
I mean, it didn't stop them from doing bug theme for, shows at a time. So
exactly. And
I think
it would be nice
overdue for one.
And it would be nice to have like an actual like bug theme writer. And since we'll be having King Odor side by side with this, bugs, why not?
I mean, if this writer does end up being something that is related to game playing, then I can already see the Toy Tokusatsu fan club crossover with Kamen Rider Quiz.
Oh my god!
Because it would then make sense again. They'd do it again. They would just do it again. They would just keep crossing over with the Meat Eye writers from ZO, and Quiz would be the next one up. So,
let's go even further. Let's just say it's like a complete dystopia, like in Kikai, and it's just like people are literally gambling and using these gachas just for money, just so that they can live and get like food and proper water or something.
Reiwa has too many animal themed. No, Geets has too many animal themed writers. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
like Saber was a dragon and Revice was a dinosaur. Like, that's not really an animal. That's prehistoric shit.
What was it again?
It's true.
Writer gets isekai'd into the 2040s. Yep.
No.
That could be a thing.
No isekai. No.
No isekai?
No isekai, no.
You're not a fan, Mark? No isekai?
I
mean, essentially, Geeks is already like partial. Like, it's isekai light.
Mm-hmm.
That time I got reincarnated as a deep.
And Saber was already like isekai in a way as well. Like the aspects are there.
It's adjacent, but it's not a flat out. Like that's my least favorite genre. And I hate it.
I can guess what I can kind of understand what you mean by dragons and Rexes are animals, but like,
Yeah, but they're cool, so they don't count.
Yeah, if this show becomes like a actual isekai writer,
one's extinct and one doesn't exist.
make like troll reviews the entire time. You think it's gonna be a review for Gotchard, but then it's gonna be like the first episode of like Cutie Honey review, and then episode 2 is gonna be like
Your
review
whole-
for Pretty
Ooh.
Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon.
Like
Like
whole intro is someone putting a coin in a machine, and then the ball comes out when it opens. It's just one of your personalities reviewing
God.
something. And you
Oh,
don't know
that
what
would be
it is.
nice. Just a random
like
review.
what personality are we gonna get next? Yay!
My thing is, Zio, what are you gonna do if this season's good, like really good?
I don't know. Time Kabuto said the season sucked, which is part of the reason why we go back in time and just rob myself.
Hmm.
So, if it actually ends up being good, then I don't know. Maybe something happened to the timeline. After all, like maybe like things flip flopped. He did say that the Sentai was going to be a premium Sentai toy Baijer. Maybe it flip flopped, and that actually ended up becoming the Kamen Rider season.
I mean,
And
with the
that's
amount of
what
toys,
Gachard is.
I mean, with the amount of toys I'm getting from King Ultra, it might as well be.
It's gonna be what, but there's not that much premium items that they've got going on in King Ojo currently. So hey,
Yeah.
Not yet,
Yeah.
but when there is, I will be swiping left and right.
oh my god, if Kamen Rider could charge secondary writers, Kamen Rider Isekai, I'm done. Already done.
Isekai
Make no
card,
sense. It'd be Kamen Rider Hard On.
hard on. Oh,
It's
did
twins,
it.
and one's name is Issei, and the other one's name is Kai.
Kai.
yeah, it's Issei and Kai.
Kamen Rider P Bandai going up with it. Let's see.
Oh, the pre-Bandai is literally a gotcha. You don't know what you're gonna get, but it's still
Oh my
$200.
Like you have to spend money, and it's a blind box. It's like the blind box you get at anime conventions, and you're just like, I hope I get something good.
Oh my god! Imagine
My
they
luck,
just set
I
up
always
random-
get something good when I do those. So,
I mean, if that is the gimmick, I wouldn't mind like doing streams where I open up like blind boxes or card boxes or whatever.
That would be the
is.
gimmick. They're completely gonna get you to buy into that shit. I'm gonna buy 30 of these, and hopefully I get the actual
rare
gimmick
one.
I want. You got 5 of the same shit.
You get
Y'all
fu-
weren't around when Genshin Impact dropped. You guys don't understand.
No, I understand.
rules.
I've seen Shade. I've seen what happened to him.
Yeah, and even Shade was like, "Wow, you just spent a lot." Like, yep.
Yep.
God, if
they're
they go with a
Honkai
gimmick
Star Rail
like
right
that,
now.
if they go with a gimmick like that, I'm gonna completely be like, I hate this. I'm gonna
I
buy the
kinda-
first one.
You're like,
kinda
I
have-
hate
like-
this. Add to cart.
Yep, at the
Like
cart,
I did
just-
with the freaking
my
Shin
God.
Universe robot.
I don't
That's
like this,
exactly
but
how I'm gonna be.
I'm spending my money anyway.
It's like this is the worst. I'll take 2, please.
No, is that
Oh
game
my
actually
gosh.
fun? Like, I know a lot of people are playing it.
Get charged pre-primary form, got soft form. There it
Honestly,
is.
I feel like it wouldn't be a gotcha gimmick because that would make such a good anniversary season.
Ah, that's true.
But we're only 5 years into this,
That's
so we're
what
like
I'm
halfway
saying.
to the
Well, that's what I'm
30th
saying. Like,
anniversary.
I wouldn't use it yet. Like, I would wait on that for a gimmick because that'd be. I just realized that'd be great. Like, you don't know what you're gonna get, and you actually get one of the gotcha pod things. You open it up, or the gotcha pod you
It's
put
a
in the
legend
belt.
rider or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And then you turn into that legend rider.
Hmm.
Tully, hire me and stop striking my channel, please.
I don't think one of those things. will
But
ever
the
happen.
name's already like there, and too many people are taking the name way too literal. So I'm
Yeah,
just
that's why I think everyone's reading into it like wrong. That's why I was like, I don't think it'd be a card. Like, it could be anything really.
It would be nice if it was an actual another space theme Sentai like Zero wanted.
Yeah, like when you hear Geets, do you think Battle Royale and kids like foxes? And no, I don't.
No,
like, I mean, we know that the naming pun was there, like Gitsune, Kitsune, that type of thing was the entire
Mhm.
thing with the naming pun for Geats. But of course, everybody thought it was gonna be a Viking. So
I mean,
no, go ahead.
I
no,
don't
I was
like
just gonna say, like
Vikings.
with Revice, I wasn't expecting dinosaur genomics theme or whatever that is
Mhm.
theme it was at the end of the day.
Listen, I thought Revice was gonna be about a DJ.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Like,
That'd been cool.
Yeah,
yeah. So they're taking hits from the 80s, hits from the 90s, mashing them together. Boom. Ace of
Yeah.
base.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up a Chat GPT and I'm gonna tell it to tell me what.
Not again, Zio.
Ooh.
You don't learn your lessons.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna ask it.
Stop.
Let's see.
If ChatGPT
Almighty
gets this right, we're
ChatGPT.
gonna get assassinated. You know this, right? The Toei ninjas are coming.
Gonna ask it, what is the theme for Kamen Rider Gachard? Let's see. He's not aware of any character named Gachard because his database only goes up to September 2021. Write me the synopsis for a theoretical show titled Kamen Rider Gachard. Let's see what it got. All right. In the city of Neo Vale, a mysterious and ancient artifact known as the Gachard Gauntlet is discovered. This powerful gauntlet has the oh my god, it's still typing. This powerful gauntlet has the ability to tap into the energy of emotions, transforming them into formidable powers. However, the gauntlet also has a dark side. It can corrupt its wearer if used recklessly. Amidst the chaos of its discovery, a young and determined scientist named Hiroshi Akira. We got a name. We got a name for the Hiroshi Akira.
Oh god.
Realizes the immense potential and the danger of the Gachard Gauntlet, with the city in dire need of protection from emerging threats. He takes it upon himself to become the legendary Kamen Rider Gachard. Cue theme song. We ain't got one yet. Equipped with the Gachard Gauntlet, Hiroshi harnesses the strength of human emotions to become the ultimate guardian against evil. As Kamen Rider Gachard, he can tap into various emotional energies such as courage, hope, love, and determination, channeling them into powerful attacks and abilities. However, Hiroshi soon realizes that the emotional energy required to sustain his powers must be carefully balanced. As he succumbs to negative emotions like anger, fear, or despair, the gauntlet's corruption takes hold, transforming him into a malevolent force of destruction. Guided by a mysterious mentor who once wore the gauntlet, Hiroshi embarks on a perilous journey to protect Neo Vale from a shadowy organization seeking to exploit the Gachard Gauntlet's power. Along the way, he encounters other individuals with strong emotional bonds and latent abilities, forming a team of allies known as the Emo Knights.
Oh my god. The emotion.
Oh my god. Okay, we going in. Together, the Emo Knights face a diverse array of villains known as the Malovores. We got enemy names too. Entities who thrive on emotional chaos to seek and seize control of the Gachard Gauntlet. Each Malovore represents a different negative emotion, testing the resolve and emotional stability of Kamen Rider Gachard and the Emo Knights. As the battle escalates, Hiroshi grapples with his own inner struggles, striving to maintain balance between his personal emotions and the responsibilities of being Kamen Rider Gachard. Will he conquer his inner demons to protect Neo Vale from the encroaching darkness? Or will the power of the Gachard Gauntlet consume him, leaving the city defenseless and vulnerable? Kamen Rider Gachard combines thrilling action, intense emotional drama, and a rich exploration of the human psyche. This exciting series delves into the power of emotion and the dedicated equilibrium between light and dark, offering a unique and compelling addition to the legendary Kamen Rider franchise. Here it is. We got Gachard written by ChatGPT.
That's literally Green Lantern, Lantern Wars mixed with Inside Out and like Revice.
I would watch that. It's pretty good. Sounds pretty good.
The Emo Knights alone had me sold.
Yeah.
Like just having the Emo Knights up in there.
So, and now imagine if
it's the Emoji Movie. It's the Emoji Movie, but good.
I never saw
Imagine
that
how
movie.
much Chat GBT would get. Oh God, if Chat
Yeah,
GBT,
I doubt any of that is right, but
If
yeah,
any of that is right, Zio, oh my God, we are done. We're done.
if they literally introduce somebody as just like I'm an emo knight, I'm gonna be like,
Oh my God.
It'll be
Here
like
it
that's
is.
how Toei's coming up with this stuff, and then it's like the whole like South Park episode with like the how are they rating the Simpsons episode or the Family Guy skits, and it's like the mammals like whatever those ones were in the water that are just picking balls
Oh, the
with words on them.
manatees.
Yeah, this is that all over again.
Yep. Let's
This
just
is
put
how-
all these ideas together and let's see what we cook from here.
Yeah,
But Gachard's got a gauntlet and he's doing things with it.
I like that they have a gauntlet though.
Yeah, yeah,
Don't see
doing
that
things.
much in Rider.
And yeah, so that's so when it comes to like Gachard in general, like obviously, look, we don't know too much besides like this one toy potential leak. Even though the other things were technically proven right on Gachard having its base form being mechanical and water, which kind of like looks like it's combining organic and technology together for whatever the basis is of it, which already to me just sounds completely different than something that would be like a gotcha mechanic or something card based. Just
Sounds
from,
very alchemy.
yeah. It could be something like really delving into the sciences of things, in terms of like their breakdown. So I don't know, like just based off of like this individual like toy league, for these names, it makes me curious. Unless like once again the leaker just threw in a random name in there, which sometimes happens with some leaks. Like
Yeah.
they actually know what's coming out, but they'll throw in like one curveball in there just to like have their pipe dream thrown there. So if mechanical and water ends up being completely false, then hey, it can be completely false. But for now, that's like one of those like everything that we're saying right now, literally take it with a grain of salt. We don't know jack shit. We know a name for sure, 100%. We know a name. We don't know anything else. We're just pulling things out of our ass and Chat GPT's ass. So there's all those different aspects to it. Now, obviously, the big thing that comes to all this is like writer. We don't know who's writing this. We don't know what the production staff is. Like you can have a very cool looking suit, but you know, if the writer themselves ends up being, you know, someone that we've seen before in the franchise and we can kind of attest to what they've done before, then hey, it could be another Geet situation of like, hey, well, at least we know someone's dying and there's Cloudy.
Bye, Cloudy.
Takahashi got him. We know that when it comes to Takahashi, at least someone's dying on Christmas. That's it. It's really it. But in terms of everything else, like whatever. Honestly, like because of the way that King Oger is going currently, I wouldn't mind if we got some new blood in when it comes
I'm
to writing
wondering
stuff.
because Toei spent all that money, even though Sodi, we know Sodi's relationship with Toei, using that green screen. Could we get it with Kamen Rider? Or is this going to be like, oh, only Super Sentai is going to get to use that nice fancy Mandalorian?
No, I really
setup?
think they bought that thing for a reason. That's a future investment because they're not going to get their money back for the investment that they did on that with King Oja toy sales. So I really think that's going to be a future endeavor for them. Plus, that technology, technically, they used it before because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the intro of the Dom Brothers was actually filmed using that same exact screen.
I don't know.
Because if you look at it, Zio's fandom is now known as the Emo Knights. Emo Knights. There we go. The Zio Emo Knights. That is the name of the fandom now. Thank you, ChatGPT. Cloudy actually did say in the private chat that there is a bad storm in his area and his power is about to go out, which is why he dipped out ahead of all that happening. So Kevin got him in storm form. Good old storm form. So yeah, Zio Emo Knights confirmed. So yeah, it's like I do feel that they're gonna use that screen technology, which is why like if they did end up doing like a space-based writer, the thing is like the last couple of times that we got is Super 1 and Forza. Like they didn't really do too much when it came to space.
Mhm.
It was just a prospect, and like for Forza, they had their finishers in space, and for the most part, that was really it. Like the base may have been on the moon, but that was also like just completely played up for shits and giggles and laughs the entire time, which is why I'm like, if
that
they
was at a
actually did
studio,
go,
just like the moon landing.
Damn, all right, playing that
All
game.
right.
No, so if they do end up going with something like space or something very exotic in terms of theme, then that would have worked out better. Hell, you would probably agree that like Saber probably would have been better had they actually filmed the show using that type of technology, because of course it wouldn't
100%.
be. Yeah. So I really think that it's a failsafe. It literally, they bought it as a failsafe. If another like pandemic situation happened again, then hey, they can fall back on the magic of that type of screen and not make it look as bad. I really think that that was a real investment on their part for how they can guarantee that future outings of their franchises can still like thrive outside of certain shooting restrictions in the future, because they can even like film actual like bike scenes for Kamen Rider using that screen technology, just like Mandalorian does when they're actually out in their speeders and not having any like issues in terms of making it look seamless with things. So it could work. I really think they're going to use it. So what do you think, Ash?
Yeah, I think it'll work. Like honestly, I think it'll work. Like it's hard to say at this moment, like because they've got that screen,
Mhm.
but they could use it.
Yeah. Plus, it cuts down on like a lot of location shots. You're one spot. You could basically have the settings wherever you want. Can you imagine, like you said with Saber? Imagine if they filmed the whole Wonder World or Bubble World or whatever it's called on that thing.
On that
the
thing
whole
instead of
Falcon special, because that Falcon special had some great action and fighting sequences, but the green screen took you out of it most of the time.
Yep.
What was I gonna say? No, let's my train of thought. Yeah, let's my train of thought.
Now, in terms of writing staff, do you want to see somebody that's already been on the franchise before, or would you like some new blood, kind of like what we got with King Oger?
I'll let you guys handle it because I don't know the Toku writing staff that well.
I don't know most off the top of my head, but I would like. I'm always on board for new blood getting into the game.
Yeah.
Same thing with like comic book writers and this that. I'm always like, yo, give me some new writers or old writers doing something new instead of going to an established IP. So I'm always for like a new perspective, because then one, you have nothing of their previous works to compare it to. So like, you know, in a way, like you're gonna compare everything Inoue did, and so on and so forth. Whereas like if you get someone who hasn't directed or written Kamen Rider before, you're like, oh, they've never written Toku before. This will be interesting.
Graf says bring back Riku Sanjo. I don't know, just for those of you that don't know, Riku Sanjo did Double and Drive. And of course, with the recent Fudo PI, that was of course written by him. Well, Riku Sanjo is a female, right? I believe. I don't remember. But in terms of like when it comes to that type of thing, I really want a swap up from King Oger, because King Oger staff came from Kamen Rider and they were understudies for Takahashi, and this is like their first outing, but they're doing Sentai. So I'm like, what if they flip the script and it's an understudy for somebody that's been doing like Sentai shows, and they go to the Kamen Rider route? That could be a swap up. Not to say that hasn't been done before, because like the head writer for Kuga, Arakawa, left Kamen Rider and has been doing strictly Sentai and Pretty Cure.
Oh.
Like, maybe that's actually to get a manga or anime writer to jump in and do Kamen Rider.
I mean, that's another thing as well. Like I actually would.
Go-Go Loser Rangers, who did Quintessential Quintuplets, because Go-Go Loser Rangers so good, they know team dynamics. Like, let him write a Kamen Rider.
I wouldn't mind that. That's the thing that I've wanted, is someone from another piece of genre, another medium in general, like dipping their toes when it comes to Toku.
Well, the person who wrote Forza wrote Gurren Lagann, and the person who wrote Madoka Magica wrote Gaim. So those anime staff members have worked on it.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool to see like someone who was like the head writer of an anime or a manga to work on it. That'd be cool. Like Mark said, it'd be cool if they got like the Go Loser Ranger writer to work on a Sentai. That'd be great.
Well, when it comes to all that, I would actually it sucks saying that like the younger writers are typically like in their late 30s because the way that
Yeah.
thing works in Japan is like you got to prove yourself work after
Yeah.
work after work before they actually like go ahead and be like, all right, now you can go ahead and shoot your shot.
Yeah, it's usually
And-
a decade or so later. It's
Yeah,
not-
Yeah.
so because I'm just like the majority of the writing staff for King Oja, they're all like in their late 30s, early 40s for the most part, and it's just like, yeah, y'all have been understudies for like 15 years,
yeah.
Yeah.
and now you finally get your own show. So it's like, damn, getting
Like
into
understudies
all-
for all of the Heisei era. It's like you were an understudy for a whole era of Toku. Now you can have your own.
Yeah, let's get Inoue's daughter up in here to actually lead up she's a screenwriter.
What has she done? I know, I'm curious.
She actually did the Decade novelization.
Oh, okay then.
So
So
yeah,
I've been writing stuff. That's cool.
yeah, so she did write the novelization of Decade that actually gave us the world of Decade as well. So that was
Oh.
entirely in that aspect. Maybe we get a Western guy in there. Nah, it's
No.
That's never gonna happen. Are you
that
kidding me?
ain't happening, bruh. No.
They don't
Nah,
acknowledge
we
our
got lucky
existence.
with what we got so far.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna cook that deeply. No. Hey, we're at 69 viewers. Ayo.
Ayo.
So, oh my god. So yeah, that'll happen with Pig's Fly. Absolutely. Like when it comes to Japan, yeah,
Yeah.
no, you gotta.
No,
yeah,
that's not
definitely.
happening.
There's definitely an entire merit system, but there's also like so many years of proving grounds that you got to get to before you actually end up getting to that point.
Like maybe a Westerner that's been living in Japan, possibly that has
Even
some
then
sort
it'd
of
be
writing
kinda
experience. Yeah, then
close.
they'd have to be an understudy of whoever. Yeah.
Yep, for a while, like they would have to have been an understudy.
No orb
for someone.
No.
Velma writers to do. No.
No comment. I have Fifth Amendment right to not say anything self-incriminating.
Or we can get like someone that's worked as like storyboard for or head writer for like video game, something different. Like it's rare that we ever see overlap between like someone that's worked on a video game in terms of head writing and left that medium to go to another medium.
As
in
much
order
as
to
I
write some
find him overrated, a Kojima common writer would be intriguing to me.
I mean, the video games are already long cutscenes as it is.
Yeah.
So episode 1's 4 hours long.
Yeah, with 5 minutes of action
Yeah.
Like
in a
that would
cardboard
be
box.
I sat through that Xenoblade free cutscene. I can sit through like a 4-hour writer.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm just like, how about we get another Takahashi involved because the head writer for the Xenoblade franchise is another Takahashi, and I'm just like, oh yeah, if we get him involved in writing, it'll be completely like convoluted as all hell and shit, and tie into
Ketsu
like
Minora. Oh fuck, the Kingdom Hearts guy writing a Kamen Rider series.
Nomura doing that.
It makes sense at first.
Yeah, until
Yeah,
we
at
get to
first.
like, yeah, and after we get done with the first arc, and then we get to the second arc, and then they start introducing like these cloaked figures that we don't know.
Yeah,
We got to forget the 7 side arcs
ghost-
via
the
cinemas.
ghost of the originals.
Oh yeah, this will be one of the few times we actually get like Toei Tokusatsu fan club stuff running almost weekly for each episode. You want to understand this episode? Well, here's an entire almanac of everything. You got to watch these 5 side specials to make this one episode make sense.
And even then, you're gonna be like, I don't get it.
VTuber themed Sentai.
No,
If you know anything about me, I'm not a fan of VTubers at all. Even Cloudy knows this, even though like he rocks a VTuber. I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm waiting for the VTuber like bubble to burst when it comes to a lot of that. It's too corporate now, especially.
Yeah, like I'm an old man. I don't get I'm like pushing on for. I don't get VTubers. I get some of the personalities behind some of them, like Taka from like Team 4 Star, who's one now. But I'm like an old man, and I'm like, how do I don't get how it caught on.
Wait a minute. You're an old man. You're pushing what?
32. I'm old. I don't get what the new kids. I don't get what the kids are into these days.
I turned 34 on Tuesday.
Okay. I can hear your bones
30.
clacking.
37 right here, okay? 38. So you got some
Yeah.
time. You got some time
You're
ahead of you.
37, but do you understand the popularity behind VTubers? Because I don't.
No, because my
No.
generation, the second we got our hands on some webcams or digital cameras, we were all about like putting ourselves online, not knowing the repercussions they may have years down the line.
Yeah.
So
No, trust me. I'm glad I didn't use a real name back then because I didn't want people to steal my identity. I'm like, oof.
yeah, I had way too many different screen names too,
Dark
so I
times.
landed on what I've got now. So
No. I
Hey.
always kept track, so I was able to go through, not recently, but within the last 7 or 8 years, and find all those accounts and nuke them because I was like, these need to be gone from existence.
throw in Bitcoin
found-
for that matter. You're right. Like that's once again like things such as cryptocurrency and stuff like that. And it's just like nah, ain't about that.
Yeah.
Which is
mean,
why you
Bitcoin's
watch
like-
Masahiro Inoue's new Tokusatsu show here to promote NFTs.
I mean,
Listen.
Bitcoin is basically the stock market for young people.
Yeah.
It
And
is.
it's not, except with less intelligence needed for it.
Yeah. Mm.
I'll say that there is a saucy Zio Agito photo book out there,
Oh,
Graf.
no.
But in like crappy 240 like P grainy resolution webcam from those eras.
What was that website that photo booth? No, not photo booth. What was it?
Tenornot.com.
Oh God.
Shut up here. It was like 17 here. You're all old man. Shut up.
I will beat you with my walking stick.
I'm too old to care.
I'm out here spending real aggressive
Yeah.
money, like
Yeah.
completely irresponsibly. I mean,
Just wait till my age.
responsibly.
You could have all this when you're my age.
You too can amass a collection like this if you just start collecting when you're young. When I started, I was like 19 years old.
Mm.
So, writer idea. Basically, Andrew Tate, Common Writer Top G, his spreader machine is a Scotty.
All right, you get a timeout. I don't even know who you are. You get a timeout.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Okay. And GOA is off to play some more Spider-Man to honor Jeremy's debut. Well, you know,
Same.
it's
Same.
one thing. You know, that's one of those games that I like stopped playing a bit way through. I got a PS5, transported my save data on there. I start getting bodied by enemies left and right because I forgot how to play the game.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't transfer my save over. Because I knew if I did, I wasn't going to want to start with the beginning and learn what I had to do.
No, but the thing is, I hadn't touched the game since the game came out, and
Same.
then got a PS5, and like I got to the point where you got to like Silver Sable, and then it's just like, then I stopped playing, and then when I picked it up after getting my PS5, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, because the combos and the gadgets and like the special things, like that's why I was like, nope, I got to start fresh so I know everything. Because if I jump right back in where I left off, I'm screwed.
When I
That's not
jumped
gonna
into
work.
the DLC like years later when I got on PS5, I was like trying to adjust to the like the combat again before I like got into the rhythm of it.
Oh, is this now going to become a gaming stream? Because Graf wants to know, what do you think about the Venom suit in Spider-Man 2?
Finally,
we
it's
saw it.
accurate. Okay,
Yeah.
everyone complaining and
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, it's not like the '90s cartoon, and it's not like the Spider-Man 3." It's like, listen, this is what it's supposed to be. It's a symbiote. He didn't actually just get a black suit. Okay,
Mm.
like that's how it works. And don't go
Yeah.
into the whole Secret Wars and this and that for where the suit like started. They didn't think that far in advance when that comic was coming out. And he was just on the cover, and yes, it debuted, but it's a big difference. Also, that comic's worth money. I got one graded at a 7.2. Thank you very much.
Nice.
But it's I like it in this. It's very accurate, and that's all I cared about because Insomniac actually cares about accuracy, and they made me care about
Yeah.
Miles.
Yeah.
The thing is, since I haven't beaten the first Spider-Man game, I'm not picking this up because I got to beat that first game first.
And you got to beat Miles.
And I got to beat Miles because I also got that as well because it was thrown in with the PS5 bundle back when I paid like $700 for a PS5 bundle.
Mm.
Yeah. So I guess to get back on Toku stuff, did you know Shin Kamen Rider gets a second screening day?
Yeah, I'm still gonna go on Wednesday to watch it
I am
during
too.
the time. I'm gonna drive my 80 miles to go watch it, and obviously that's gonna be a big topic for when we meet up next week.
I
For
might not
this,
be on that episode if I haven't seen it, so I don't get spoiled.
well, you can be in the beginning superhero time, and then once we say Shin Kamen Rider,
Yeah.
you can just go
Yep.
deuces. Be like,
Yeah.
I just don't know why they picked the second date to be a Monday. That is like the worst possible day.
that is a bad day for it.
Yeah.
It makes
And
no
I'm just
sense.
like, no, it really doesn't. And
So.
but I'm excited it's getting a second date. Like Shin Ultraman got 2 days back to back, but one day was subbed and one day was dubbed. So I was like, hey, at least there's a follow up, like in case anyone can't make it. Like the movie theater that I was originally going to go to was like 75% sold. And then I was looking at another theater that's closer that actually, because they added more dates for Wednesday also now. So they didn't, or added more movie theaters. So they actually expanded on that. And I checked, and the one that's like right by where we are, that's it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like no one's going to this one. And I was like, wow.
Actually, since I haven't checked, I need to check and see if it did open up closer to me to save me a like 80-mile drive one way.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I was like, why would you announce like 5 days before it's supposed to it's coming out that, or 5 or 6 days beforehand? Like, hey, guess what? We added more theaters. It's like you couldn't have did that sooner. Like,
Yeah. I still don't know if it's getting an Australian release. So big sad.
we'll find a way to get you to see it, Ash. There's ways.
I
places.
I know piracy bad, but do you remember when like the Dragon Ball superhero movie came out last year, and there was a live stream of YouTube where someone like leaned it against a chair and it was just playing in the cinema, and that's how I watched it.
Nope, still nothing near me.
Jeez.
I still have to drive 80 miles to see this film.
I'm not going to say how many miles because I don't want people to be like, oh, that theater's really close to you. It has no showings or no seats taken. It's like, all right, let's pinpoint and boom.
I don't know who it is on Twitter, but apparently there wasn't enough like people buying tickets, so they canceled the screening. I feel bad for whoever posted
I'm
that.
literally the only one with tickets, but like they're not, because like it's the same thing with Shit Ultimate. Like when I went to go see it, there was like 4 other people.
Yeah, when I booked mine, there was only maybe 4 to 5 other like seats that were already reserved in the theater. So
yeah,
they got all the like center seats. So I was I was like, man,
with Shit Ultimate, it was like that, but no one went for like the sub. But all the dub showings the next day for reserve seating were all sold out because a lot of people obviously would want to go see dubbed over sub.
Yeah. And that Blu-ray or DVD is coming out soon for Shin Ultraman, I think.
I think they pushed back to July. It's Blu-ray and DVD. I think it got pushed back to July now. I think it's like July 16th.
I'm surprised it's not getting a 4K release.
I know in Japan, I think it did.
Need that 4K release for all this.
I'll be mad if it sells good. Well, the studio that's like just like producing like the physical copies in the States, I've never heard of them before.
It's like Cleopatra or something. And from what I've heard, like their backlog is like doing weird, raunchy indie films or something.
I don't know. Yeah, they don't have a mainstream like presence or any like big IPs. So I was like, I don't know how they won the bidding war for that.
Yeah, it's crazy that Subaraya will just like throw money at whoever's like highest bidding.
They have Mill Creek, who's been doing a lot of 4K.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, how do you not ask for Mill Creek to handle this for you?
Like Mill Creek and Shout Factory. I guess it's a movie different. I don't know. I'm confused.
I don't know.
It's like with Ryder, where Disco Tech is doing Black and Black RX, and then Shout's doing like Ryuki and Cougar and that.
Well, it goes by eras because I know 90s got picked up by one company, and then
Yeah.
anything Heisei and later is by season basis to buy the rights
Yeah.
for it, which
Yep.
is
That makes sense. Who is it that's doing like Kamen Rider the First and that later, and Kamen Rider Zoe?
well, there's
The
that.
company.
I forgot the name.
There
of
was a
that
company that did do Kamen Rider the first and the
Yeah, and
next
they're
on
doing
DVD.
it again. They're doing it again,
Yeah.
and they're like
Oh.
putting in a box set, from what I've heard.
And then there's that Hawaiian company that did V3, but they went belly up. But luckily, I got their Hikator set and their V3
Yeah.
set before they shut down. Yes, Benjamin, Mill Creek bricked the Gridman release 100%. That was atrocious.
Let's see what else. Yeah, pirate themed writer. There really hasn't been one. I was trying to think of one. I couldn't think of any, even when it comes to like secondary writers or like movie exclusive writers. Nothing piratey.
They just steal the gimmicks from treasure chests.
Mhm.
I mean, that's already technically happened in Geats
Yeah.
with them stealing the gimmicks.
Mhm.
So none of that. Let's see. Miles looks like a secondary writer. I mean, he technically is. So he's a secondary spider.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go over that full account, but I would like the Supaida man to get an actual physical release out here.
That'd be a challenge because of I don't know like is it Toei or Disney, or is it like a split thing? Because I would love to see that get a
Well, I know Toei has like the full rights to it.
yeah.
And they are allowing, but Marvel could like with Into the Spider-Verse, like that
Mhm.
showed up in there. Like I think they could use its likeness, but it's kind of like the whole mutants thing with like Fox and Marvel
Yeah.
Studios for the longest time. But I don't know, from a US distribution, honestly, like whoever does it, they're gonna make money. Even if you had
Mhm.
Disney and Marvel backing its release here in the States, it'd
Mhm.
get more eyes on it.
Like I even watched the documentary on Disney Plus where they talked about it.
Oh,
And,
that
like,
was
they
a
even
good
got, like,
documentary.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, man, now it makes me actually want to watch this because I've had it downloaded just for shits and giggles, but I've never actually like sat down and watched it.
The Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I want to find the entire series. It's on the Cat website, but it's in like weird batches. Well, like not all the episodes are there.
Let me see which batch it is. No, the one I've found is the right one.
No, you have to hit me up with it and I'll download it.
Yep. Burn subs, Toei Spider-Man 1978, 14.8
Nice.
gigs. 6
Nice,
seaters right
nice.
now. Get in
Nice.
on it while you can. Includes the movie.
It was a movie?
When the movie is smaller in megabytes than an episode. It kind of speaks volumes. It's probably like a 15-minute long thing. Like, this is the intro. This is episode 0.
That sounds like a toy movie from back in the day.
Let's see. Read a weird fun fact a year or two ago. Apparently, Battle Fever J is an alternate Earth in the Marvel. Yes, that's true because it was made by Marvel. Marvel Comics. It is a Marvel. It's a joint Marvel Toei production.
Yeah.
Was Battle Fever J, which was technically the official start of the Super Sentai universe. Which retroactively they added in Go Ranger and Jacka afterwards. But for a long while, Battle Fever J was technically the canonical start of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a thing, and especially since considering the theming of them was very like Captain America-ish, just with all the other countries that you had going on with it. So yeah, that's all a real thing. Technically, Marvel still technically has some partial ownership of them, I think. Still, they just don't do anything
Use
with
them
it.
too much, yeah.
So, all right. Let's see here. Any other thing anybody in the chat has to say before we go ahead and wrap things up for the night? since we are 15 away from 3 hours, from the 3-hour mark. So just checking in on chat and see if there's any other questions, any balls are gonna throw our way.
Any more brain busters?
I just got one of those scam texts that just says like hello. I'm not gonna answer that shit.
Oh, God, like I have so many customers at work who call me up about that stuff. And I was
Yep.
like, please
there
don't
we
click
go.
on it.
Yeah, I saw you talking, Mark. I didn't know if that was like not at us.
There we go. Fixed it. My headset like completely changed what the output went to, so I was like, why can't I hear anybody?
Oh,
Stupid HyperX.
let's see here. Let's see.
But
Did
Ash,
y'all
I can
see
send
that
you a link to
Shin-
Spider-Man. I have it.
Cheers. Nice.
Did y'all see that Shin Kamen Rider is getting Nendoroid figures?
Yep. Getting those. They look really good, actually.
Not a fan
I
of
might have
Nendoroid
to-
figures.
I realized after like the price of SH Figure Arts, how many were going to Premium Bandai, and the discrepancies in height that because the Saber ones are taller than some of the older, like they changed the mold on their heights and everything. Like I switched over to Nendoroids and the Figure Art minis, and from a price point and how much you could display and how good they actually look, I'd rather get those actually. I have a lot of the Ultraman, or I have like 3 or 4 of the
Mhm.
Figure Art mini Ultramans, and I have some Nendoroid Gridman ones.
Mm.
They're good for the price, honestly.
See, am I gonna review the George Ortega special? Probably not. That was such a nothing special. Like,
Yeah.
it was so dumb. It was a waste of time, and they literally once again made a whole suit for a nothing final fight
Dude.
that was played up for laughs, had zero impact whatsoever. They didn't even put in the sound effects of them actually throwing hands to the point that they just felt weightless. No, I don't think it's worth a review. Fuck that.
No.
So, let's see if there's anything else here. Hope Clouder's okay. He's just in a bad storm. Let's see. Am I gonna have another Turbo Ryuki appearance? I don't know. It's could be a thing. Honestly, like when I was doing my review for Geets and King Oger, not this week, but last week, I was gonna originally make it that Turbo Ryuki popped in to be like, oh, if Zio's not gonna review this because he's doing Tears of the Kingdom, it's my time to shine. And I was like, nah, it's too much. It's too much. I need to get back to playing Tears of the Kingdom. So, nah, just this. So, so you could have had Turbo Ryuki, but you did not. Did not get Turbo Ryuki. I haven't seen the Ortega special yet. There's no point. There's no point in watching it. Unless you want to see like a lot of George half naked. That's about it.
I mean, there's a demographic for that.
Yeah, that's about it. Tears of the Kingdom killed Turbo Ryuki. You're right. Does John Toei use Chat GPT? It's possible. It's very possible. Is Galaxy Blade going to get a big push this upcoming writer year? You know, because of Blade year?
Listen, Graph. We don't talk about the Blade year because you're not ready. I'm going to be the worst possible Toku fan for 52 weeks.
You say that, but we're not going to get a special until the year after.
Oh, it
just
doesn't
like
matter.
they did
For the
with
whole
Fives.
no, for the whole year, I'm just going to talk about Blade. For the whole year, calendar year, I'm just going to talk about Blade.
Like Gachard episode 1 reviews is just Blade episode 1 review, re-review.
I'm reviewing it backwards, starting with the last episode. So I just
So these roaches show up from out of nowhere.
So no one's sitting in this park bench. Now someone's sitting in it.
For now.
Yes.
You look away and he's gone.
It's snowing upwards.
Just everything going differently.
I'm just going to go around all of Southern California, sit down at random park benches and review each episode of Blade at a random park bench.
How about you review each park bench? See what kind of wood they're made out of. If they're not made out of wood, then
This
like
is a cedar with 3
metal.
different stains, pressure treated.
Yep. Is it homeless friendly or is it not? You know, does it have
Southern
that bar
California.
down the middle?
Needs a bar down the middle, honestly.
So it's the way it would go. It's the way it would go. I mean,
The-
I'm ready for next year because, of course, I get my Fies movie next year.
Mm.
I
I
mean,
might
it
actually
comes
start binging Fires, like to prepare for the movie.
gotta watch it. We recently just watched Paradise Lost on Twitch last Saturday, so that was a fun trip on there, which is why I was just like, yeah, this movie makes too much sense on why it would
Mhm.
take place after Paradise Lost and not the actual series. So, hey,
Mm.
it's all there. It's all there. Let's see if anything else. Oh, perfect name for a benchmark.
That's
There it
I was
is.
Like, yeah,
Benchmark.
a
That's
bench, a bench named Mark.
A bench named Mark. There you go. Can we talk about how Zo rewrote the end? No, let's not talk about that.
No, wait, what are you talking about with Zio?
Everything about Zo, like, no, that's a whole thesis piece on its own. Like, we could even make that a whole night stream of how Zo fucked up all the endings to insert writer show here.
Yeah.
Like, it literally could become a whole topic for another day. Rainy day topic. Need to write that down. How Zo fucked up Heisei 1 and 2. All of Heisei.
Yeah.
Did what Decade couldn't do. But tried to.
Except for
Let's
Build.
see.
Build was short. I didn't really like Build anyway, so.
You will be much happier in life if you accept that anniversary seasons aren't canon. I mean, technically, no show is canon to another show.
Yeah.
Because even there's a whole debate between Agito and Kuga, because the production staff that worked on Kuga were like, yeah, we would like to think that, you know, if new enemies attack, that Yusuke wouldn't just stay chilling, making people smile, and would actually come back and, you know, throw hands. So,
What if, you know how like Zenkai went into Dom Brothers to an extent, a little bit? What if they did that with Geats into Gashard and the king and the queen things that come with the laser is like Neon and Kawa become like the king and queen for some odd reason. And then because it's Gashard now gambling, all the supporters are gambling on a new game. And then nope, wait, it's like Running Man, but without Arnold Schwarzenegger. Never mind. No, take that back.
it would have to be like Jean and Beroba come back
Ugh.
just to set up everything on there. Will I do reviews for other Toku shows? Look, I want to. The thing is time, scheduling.
Literally,
Literally,
time you put in editing, I don't think you have time to add a third show.
like literally this week alone, I drove over 1,200 miles. Like this week alone, with all the crap I had going on in work this week. I had like 4 resignations. I was driving between Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. I actually had to spend the night at a hotel just because of all the driving, just to get stood up. Mad. I was completely mad. So, yeah, it's a whole thing. All right. So, on that note, let's go ahead and close things out for tonight. All right, Ash, where can people find you at?
You can find me over at Deoxy360 on the Twitters, the YouTubes. I'm kind of streaming on Twitch. Like when I get home from work, maybe I'll stream on Twitch and game with the mates. Playing Siege and GTA 5 online. Shenanigans over there as we do heist and like shoot people in Siege. But
Okay,
yeah,
shoot people.
yeah. In games, I
Okay.
swear.
In the video
Yeah.
games, in a
All right.
fictional environment.
In a fictional environment. But yeah, YouTube's going all right. I dropped Never Before Seen Monsters Part 14, I believe, which
Yep,
was
14.
monsters that never made it into Dino Charge and Ninja Steel. And I'm slowly working on the Beast Morphers one, but also an in-between video for that one where I need to get in contact with someone who worked on the show.
Nice. Yeah.
Mm.
What's the odds of you getting a Pookie on?
Pookie won't return my calls. Then I think. Okay, I make this as a meme. I make this as a joke, but I don't think Pookie likes my content.
Listen, all you have to do is invoke him by like asking the most random question about Power Rangers production that has nothing really pertinent to do with anything that needs an answer, and he will reply to you.
Why does Solon have dino titties?
There you go. Just tweet that out, and he'll be like, "Well, let me tell you what. We did vast research on dino titties."
I mean,
Vast research on dino titties.
It's like,
That would be
Um,
it. That's it.
I emailed Jeff Goldblum. Life finds a way. Like I was like, oh, just ask a random question, and he will. Like he replies to. No, you got to make a burner account with like 5 followers because he doesn't reply to anyone with a following.
yeah. I've noticed that he did have his villain arc a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I don't know if you know, like, but he blocked someone in the community who did nothing to him. I think, like, they just had like slight criticism for once and always. But yeah, that
I mean,
was his
I had
story.
criticism.
He made the mistake of
for
going on
once and
Ranger
always.
board, and then when we saw
Yeah.
the whole, and he like clipped one little like screenshot, one little 2 sentences out of it, and went on a tirade. And then when the whole thing was shown for the like, everyone's like, "Wow, you really overreacted and reached."
Yeah.
It was great. I was just sitting back, like I don't even care about Power Rangers that much for like from a show standpoint, from a comic standpoint, that's one thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, Mark, where can people find you at? What you got to plug?
Obviously, Nerd Day Mark everywhere. I'm getting into live streaming because I don't have the time to review and edit so many videos. So I'm like, let me start live streaming, and then I could have all these sections to just offload to YouTube because I'm going to be playing Shin Kamen Rider Rumble because I got my English copy for everyone else to know what's going on. I also have this nice stack right here of manga that I need to do video reviews for. And all these nice comic books like Supermassive and Radiant Pink and not the Kamen Rider 01 comics that
They're
I
just there for decoration.
Listen, I have every cover. I even have the #1 Virgin variant signed that one of my
Get
friends
a nice
got me.
collage back there in your wall.
Get them graded.
Nah.
They'll be like, get them graded. They'll be like the era when Kamen Rider 01 got a comic.
Right. We'll do like a history of like 10 years from now. Like, remember that time, the only time they tried to give us a Kamen Rider comic? This is why we can't have nice things.
They chose 01 out of all things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I get why. There's a story behind it. There's one, the Blu-ray and everything else, because that was in the pre-planning with the Blu-ray. So it's like I get like most of it's played out like a year or two before they would start.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. Like the Blu-ray and the comic was announced at the same time, along with the Kuga manga.
They could have been Dragonite,
which has been delayed also, by the way, if anyone's curious. Kuga manga Volume 4 is not coming out, I think, until August or September now.
Oh, great! Feeling just like an episode of Outsiders now.
Well, then after that, it's going to be almost month to month. They just pushed everything back because they wanted to go through the first 2 volumes, QC those up, get those reprints out. We still don't know in circulation what reprints are, which ones are the first batch, because there's no cover difference or anything. And my Barnes & Noble has had stacks of Volume 1 and 2 since they came out. So I'm like, are these reprints or these the normals? Like, we don't know. They're just no one's buying them. I'm like, well, I'm well aware, but I don't, because I'm curious what the changes are, even though I don't want to spend money on it. But it's one of those things where it's like, we're not like the 01 comic. I will do a video. I just eventually
when the time comes.
DC's got me hooked right now because I started getting some of the Donna DC stuff, and I haven't pulled DC in years.
I listened to a comic explain video while falling asleep, and I ended up listening to the whole thing. And it's the one where Batman like went to like each multiverse. It's crazy. Like it sounds really like or the failsafe story arc where he built a robot to stop him if he ever went like off the
I know
edge.
that one. Yeah. But most of the current stuff, like I haven't pulled DC in so long, and I was like, oh, let me check out Green Arrow because Green Arrow actually hasn't had a solo comic in so long. It's really good. Then I was like, oh, let me check out Green Lantern. I haven't read Green Lantern in all like 6 years. And I was like, oh, this is good too. I was like, let me read Massiveverse. I'm like, oh, these are better.
No, last time I was invested was back when Rebirth started back up, and I've got all those #1s and several other issues going up until like the button and the whole thing with the dark multiverse and
Ugh.
shit like that. So
They just did a Dark Crisis of Infinite Earths. I guess that's the one that just ended, and I was like, well, what's the difference between a Dark Crisis and a regular crisis? They're both a crisis. Like,
I mean, they did Heroes in Crisis that was a nothing. So okay.
that's such good potential, though. The first issue of that was really good, and then I read the second one. I was like, oh, this is what we're doing. Never mind.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Last thing I've got to plug is the earlier thing that I had to plug is obviously these Meanwhile Sononis. Send them over. Just you saying Meanwhile Sononi and aggressively chugging your drink, sending that to zioaguto@gmail.com. I will be looking through all the ones that have been submitted thus far on a Tuesday live stream. Just stay tuned for the timing of when that's going to go live. It's probably going to be something like late-ish, because of course I'm probably going to be getting some phone calls from family members throughout the day, so that'll be happening in terms of that aspect. I just got to wait in terms of the actual timing, and of course letting some people still getting in some last minute like things in there, so it'll probably be something around the same time that I start Toku Rewind, so probably around 9 p.m. Eastern, that I'll actually get that live stream up and going, and hopefully y'all have some really good saucy submissions. I'm hoping everybody gets fully hydrated from their Meanwhile Sononis, and it's just good, mindless fun. So yeah, until next week, when we'll probably be tackling some things going on in Shin Kamen Rider after watching it. That's it from us. We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Later.